Good morning, one from Mars. I hope you're doing very good today. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, and good morning. Whoa, it's a stream. Yo, what's up? I love goat. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to the stream. I'm your host, Stream Tom. Today, it is very hot outside and pouring rain. I mean, I know it's not like a new revelation to most people, as most people are experiencing the very hot outside right now. If you live on the east coast of the United States, it's very hot. If you live in the entire continent of Europe, it's very hot. It's nice and warm. It's a toasty day. Toasty day. And then on top of that, it is pouring rain. Usually when the rain comes, it like cools down. It's like cooler outside, but not today. I guess the fun thing is like looking out the window and seeing like the kids playing in the rain because it's hot rain. They're just running around, jumping in puddles. Oh, to be young. Yeah, it's brutal. Especially if that's something that you're not used to. I know that a lot of... my understanding is that a lot of European structures are designed for like passive cooling because you don't really need air conditioning as much. So when the temperature gets like 25, 28 degrees, something like that during the summertime, there's like a convection current that goes through the building that you're in a lot of spaces where they're designed with like specific windows in certain places. So like windows that don't face or only north and south facing windows, so you get less incoming heat from the sun, stuff like that. But yeah, it can be really surprising when the temperature goes up so high and then all of a sudden those measures don't work and you can't escape it, which is unfortunate. I'm very lucky. I've grown up in the city of Ottawa, and the city of Ottawa is the hottest and coldest capital city on the planet. Well, it's not, sorry, it's not the hottest capital city. It has the widest temperature range, and it is also the coldest capital city on the planet. But wide temperature range means it also gets up to plus like 40 degrees every summer. So fortunately, I'm used to it, but not everybody is. Yeah, when it gets that hot, it can be completely unbearable. So if you're unsure about what to do about the heat, make sure you drink a heck load of water. Freezies are great. Big fan of freezies. They really help out if you can get freezies locally. And what I used to do when there would be huge heat waves in my early 20s, is we would go to like the corner store because they'd have like those big, you could get these like big slushies, and go to the corner store, get a huge slushie, and then get home and then fill it with vodka. And then you forget about what temperature it is, and it really helps with the heat. So that's definitely a good way to go. Just make sure you're drinking your water, everybody. Make sure you're drinking your water. 96 to 109, it's around 40. 96 is like 35, and 109 is like 40. It's like 35 to 40. I heat, it will kill. Well, you just got to make sure you're drinking lots of water. That's all. Just keep the water flowing. Feel free to send us some of that heat. Oh, I'll think about it. Anyways, let me actually get on camera here. Ooh, I haven't used this button in a while. Old arrow keys. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Stream. I'm your host, Stream Tom. Sorry for my bit of hiatus. I was gone for a tiny bit. Also, Axel, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate the support. Hope you're doing very well. 64 months is a long time, so I appreciate it. Hope you're doing good. The long story short of the bit of a hiatus is I'm on a whole bunch of... I have these two. I have more downstairs. I'm on a whole bunch of new medications that I'm not used to taking. And so they've caused a bunch of problems in my body. So basically, I only get like a good like 2 hours of energy a day now. So I'm gonna try to focus that into getting some streaming done while I can. But the past 2 weeks have been really rough. There's been a lot of like not being able to do stuff. So that's why I do apologize for not being more attentive and being on live stream when I want to. It's been a journey in a little bit. So yeah. Metaphorically, same on alcohol with measurably higher impact. Oh yeah, 100%. It was just a that's how we used to deal with it when we were younger. It was just like, oh, it's very, very hot outside. Cool. Well, if you just drink your problems away, and now all of a sudden you don't feel how hot it is. You still have to make sure you're drinking water though. So because you can't trust your brain, you just set an electronic timer that's like drink water now, and then you go drink water. I'm doing better. We're getting there. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Is there any DDO news while I've been gone? As I didn't stream for 2 weeks, so I'm just gonna check. I didn't check the DDO news. I should check the DDO news. What's up, Chris? How you doing? Yeah, the mount fits perfect. Lamania today, supposedly.
I shall attend to it in a
sick.
trice.
Hello, Arimart essay.
Also, what's up, Aramates? Appreciate the Arimates. Is that how you pronounce the name, Arimates, as opposed to Haramates? Is Arimates? Ah, you see, I love getting the chance to learn about how to pronounce things from different languages because it's just interesting to me how different parts of the world, because people start with different languages, your tongue develops different movement patterns, and so being able to speak or say one thing is easier, depending on like, you know, the language you started with, because you kind of learn those, you build those specific muscle pathways and the neural pathways to do those things. And then on top of that, it's also the recognition of understanding how to say and speak certain things. And I have a person in my Dungeons and Dragons game that I'm running, and all of their characters, not all of them, but almost all of their characters are Gaelic in name. So it's just a bunch of consonants, but it's supposed to sound like something, and it's all unintelligible. I have an eye shaver. It's amazing. Ooh, that sounds good. Have you been able to find a job yet? No. That'd be cool, though. Cordo said Lamania today in Discord. Ooh. Video meetup at Gen Con? No, unfortunately, I'm not going to be... I have no intention of traveling to the United States at any time in the future. But, I hope everybody has fun at the DDO meetup. Let's see. I'm looking for Lamania information. We got bonus days. Got other stuff. I'm looking for the sales. At least we got the sales. Release notes, DDO store sales. Yeah, what are the sales this week? This is until July 2nd. We've got summer expansion sale with stuff in the DDO market. 30% off Isle of Dread, 40% off Chill at Ravenloft, 85% off these things. Okay, so if this is true, I'm going to investigate this real quick. Because if this is true, I remember people were posting that there was issues and they had to take the sales down. I don't know if the sales are back up. But apparently there were issues with some of the sales. Hold. Yes. All right. So this is important. Because if you guys are interested in getting some cool stuff, the Saltmarsh Ultimate Fan Bundle is 85% off. So it's 19 bones right now, American. And it comes with the Horizon Walker tree, the Spark of Logic, and I think that's it. I think Saltmarsh is the only one I probably wouldn't buy. Maybe if you want the Dimensional Hireling folder, or you want Frogo. If you want the Hireling, this one can be okay. But Ultimate Fan Bundle for Feywild, 26 bones. You get the Feywild, you get the teleport, you get the character slot, Fey Dark Illusions if you haven't bought it yet, Shifter, everybody hates Shifter, but you can get it. Most importantly, you get the Tome of Destiny for every character, and you can just have this on every single character forever. Excellent option. Definitely would recommend, because it if you play more than one character, or you like making alts, if you're like me, if you're a big altaholic and you like making new characters on the weekend, definitely a big fan of this one. Outside of that, we then have Masterminds of Shard, which is also 85% off. which gives you access to Inquisitive. If you don't have access to that, it's nice. You also have the Sharn supplies. You get actually a bunch of Astral Shards and some Treasure Hunter elixirs, which is okay, but it's mostly the Astral Shards, so it like kind of offsets the price. You do get some cool outfits. The Dimensional Augment Bag is just great. Really fun to have. Not fun. Really convenient to have because it holds 1 billion augments. Surprisingly, there are more than 500, but it is nice to have this. And then the Universal Enhancement Point Tome for every character. Again, it's the savings. So if you are somebody who either doesn't own these, or even if you do, but you want the cosmetics, or you want the tomes if you make a lot of characters, each one of these tomes I think comes you, it's like 3,000, 3,500 points in the store per one, and at 85% off, it's a better deal. So it's something to think about. I don't know if I don't know what Lamendia is going to be up. Apparently it's coming up today. We're going to be checking out for it. We're going to be watching this, guys. And then the expansion trove is off. So basically, if you want to get a friend into DDO, the expansion trove is probably the best place to start, because this will get you all the way up to level 30, which is nice, especially if they have the code. And then other than that, Isle of Dread is 28% off. Damn. That's steep. Vecna Unleashed. Giga Vecna is 60% off. I mean, I like Macrotech. And I like the Universal Enhancement Tome, but this one's a much harder sell. This is only if you want all the cosmetics. Basically, the other ones I can recommend for like the gameplay value. These are only if you really want the cosmetics. Myth Draenor. Myth Draenor. How is Myth Draenor more expensive than Isle of Dread? Yeah, these are sales. Wild. Anyway. And then, of course, Chill Ravenloft's 40% off. It's the most recent expansion. And then we have the newest one. Terror of Demo Gorgon, which is cool. I'm surprised that, yes, it comes with the Universal Enhancement Tome for every character. Oh, you know what? I don't think I picked mine up. I think I have to do that still. But I should. Comes with the Dwergard race. But I think this is the first expansion where we haven't gotten, like a, what do you call it? Like a systems thing. We haven't gotten like an enhancement tree or an archetype or something. Because we got, even the iconic is just the base Dwergar. So it's interesting. I don't know what's up with that. Anyways, continuing on with sales, 35% off Astral Shards. Oh shit. I should probably buy some Astral Shards. 50% off all bags. If you need to buy a gargantuan bag, now's your chance. 75% off Alchemist, Artificer, and Favorite Soul. Return to Mists, Ravenloft pack is 20% off, and then Ride to Glory, 30% off mounts, Mirrors of Glamoring, Keep on Borderlands bonus, White Plume Mountains bonus, out till July 2nd, and the weekly coupon. I don't know why they stopped doing these bonus items. Maybe it was too taxing. Because I remember, for those that are unaware, if you're VIP, you get like all the quest packs. I guess their solution was they just stopped selling quest packs for the most part. We get like literally one quest pack per expansion. It's like literally a quest pack, then a mini expansion, then a quest pack, then a big expansion. So like they don't do quest packs as often as they used to, or they've been upscaling the pricing of them. But I remember playing Elder Scrolls Online, and they also have their quest packs, their adventure packs. And I never really bought them because if you're VIP, you have access to all of them. But they would always have like a bonus that would come with like some cosmetics of the area and XP potions and stuff. And I remember buying all of those. So actually on my account, I own all of the quest packs, but I never needed to buy them because I was always had the VIP service, which was there. This is kind of funny. But yeah, so there's your sales, there's your deals. Not bad. They're pretty good deals this week. So if you're looking for something, so it's all going on right now, which is not too bad. And then the Ride to Glory. So if that's stuff you need, it's a good time to get in. It's hydration time. It is hydration time. True.
Oh my god. It's hydration time. Strim hydrate, strim hydrate,
it is hydration
strim
time.
hydrate, strim hydrate.
Again, if you live
hydrate.
anywhere where it's really hot right now, because it's really hot in a lot of places, please make sure you're properly hydrating. Because if you don't, you're going to get sick. And then if you get sick, it's not going to feel good. And you're going to be sad. Hope you're well. I'm doing okay. As previously mentioned, I apologize for not streaming for the past couple of weeks. I posted about it in the Discord, but TLDR is I got started on a bunch of new medication for my current problems, and the medication has affected me greatly. and I'm not used to it. It's actually a double whammy. I also had to change some of my diet. I don't have a bad diet. I eat actually pretty healthy, and I go outside, and my levels are good. But I did have to change one thing that I'm still grappling with and dealing with, which is I had to give up caffeine entirely. So I haven't had coffee in 2 weeks. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's weird. I don't love it. I don't love not drinking coffee. I do enjoy drinking coffee. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Rogue Energy thing. It's complicated. The thing is, I still buy Rogue Energy because my girlfriend loves it. So I'm still gonna buy, and like several of my friends do. But what are you gonna do? Oh, Vaughn 1 to 4. Did I do that already? I don't know. Let's check. Vault. Oh. Switch to decaf. Yeah, it's the ritual. It's the ritual, right? Because that's what I notice is when I get up and I go to make breakfast. Every day I go for the coffee machine and then I have to stop myself. The thing is, I'm kind of hoping that instead of getting back in the ritual of switching to decaf so it can help me fight it, I'm kind of hoping to just keep on the train and just break it entirely, because if I can do that, that'll be nice, because caffeine has the or not caffeine, but coffee has a problem where it stains your teeth. So if I can stop drinking coffee, then I can get rid of that extra problem. Also, it's cheaper. Coffee machine with Ninja Creamy? No. I don't eat ice cream. It's a good idea, though. The only place where it's had a negative impact, I was asked earlier.
Stream hot dew decaf hot dew ritual stream hot
I don't think they do decaf Mountain Dew. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like decaf Mountain Dew goes against like the entire concept of Mountain Dew. But Ritz, thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing very well. 40 months, a long time to resub. I have started my Pathfinder game. Started a couple weeks ago, and I actually have my next game is this Friday, so it's been fun so far. And the I've enjoyed it quite a lot. But one of my players, they used to bribe me because I used to tell them, I'm like, bribing the dungeon master will not get you any favors in the game, but it is highly encouraged. And so they would always bring a bribe. They would bring me like a coffee. So they'd go to like swing by like a McDonald's or Tim Hortons or something and bring me a cup of coffee, which was really nice of them. And so they can't, they're like, I'm like, yeah, sorry, you can't do that anymore. And now they've swapped to just bringing me decaf. So that is my once every 2 weeks decaf. I have somebody giving me a decaf coffee as a bribe. So I'm nicer to them in the pen and paper game. The new no caffeine Coke. Yeah, you can buy diet, or not diet, caffeine free soft drinks. But like, I don't know. I kind of like the solution of just drinking water. It's more cost effective, which is really good in my current level of employment. So not having to worry about like buying stuff is nice. Plus also, I'm very fortunate. I don't have like the fizz craze that some people have, where like some people are really big on the fizz. You know what I mean? Like I know several people where they gotta have like some type of soda something, whether it's like sparkling water, even if it's just sparkling water, but they pound sparkling water all the time. They get like the soda stream, or that's why a lot of people drink the soda, because they really love like that fizzy sensation. I don't have that at all. So I pretty much just drink water now. The only downside is that I had a bunch of oat milk in the fridge, so I'm trying to find ways to use it. So I've been finding ways to incorporate it into my cooking. Diet Coke every single day. Oh yeah. And like I said, for me, I've never been a fizzy person. I just don't care. Soda stream oat milk. So I don't think that would work, because my understanding is that the fat that is in the oat milk that kind of gives it that creamy texture does not play well with the carbonation, the carbonic acid, if I understand it properly. And so then it causes, it becomes gross, for lack of a better scientific term. It becomes gross. Or it explodes. I can't remember. I watched a video at some point of somebody where they had a soda stream and they put milk into it, and I think it exploded because like it like frothed the milk too much. Am I a rogue? No, I'm not. Okay. I don't remember what class I was. I don't even know. I'm the person likes fizzy situation. I love my soda stream. Yeah, exactly. So like, and for the record, I'm not out here like demonizing anybody who uses their soda stream or likes having the fizziness. I know a lot of people that are like that. Plus, also know some people that use it as a utility thing. When I used to work in sales, one of the guys I used to work with always had like a cooler in his car that had like a couple soft drinks in it because he was diabetic, and so some days he would end up like, if we were really busy, he would end up going like the entire day without eating anything, which would not be good for the blood sugar. So he would like have the, in case of emergency, can of Coca-Cola to like take a couple sips to help the sugar get the levels back. You still do build reviews? You bet I still do build reviews. We do build reviews on Wednesday. No one has signed up for build review as far as I know. Actually, I haven't checked. Did anyone sign up for build review? No. Yeah, we do build reviews on Wednesday.
I shall attend to it in a trice.
Welcome back.
Oh, no, Bob. Thank you so much for the resub, dude. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing very good. Thank you so much for the support. Welcome back to you as well. God damn, 106 months. That's a crazy number, by the way. I literally can't believe it. That's actually absolutely insane. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing very, very good. As previously mentioned, because I'm on some new medications, I unfortunately don't have the same amount of energy that I used to have, and so my stream is going to be shorter than usual because I only have like a few hours of focus every day, which really sucks. It's very, very annoying. And normally I would just like supplement it with coffee, but I'm also not allowed to do that. So I have no choice. So, but I'm going to be streaming every day this week, and I'm trying to work against, I just have to get used to it. That's pretty much what the doctor said, is like, as I get used to it, it's going to get easier and easier over time. So I'm just making sure I get used to it. Where signups? So you buy in. It's a purchase. You buy with sun flasks.
You stand amidst a scene of terrible slaughter.
I might lower the price because nobody has paid for one yet. But basically, the idea behind build review, what we're going to be doing is people are going to be submitting their builds for review. So you submit it in for your own personal preference. But we're going to be doing 2 build reviews back to back. So even if you submit one, we won't be doing it until 2 people put in the build review. We'll be doing both of them back to back. And the goal is, basically, after we review both of them, the Twitch chat is going to decide who has the cooler build. So I'll put up a poll, and we'll poll people. And then whoever ends up having the cooler build is going to win DDO points. So you might submit your build because you want to... like, it's based on which one, how cool you think it is. So if you're like, oh, I need help making, you know, milk toast warlock, just like straight up 20 warlock using blaster, I can help you with that, but it's kind of boring. And I have so many pure warlock builds, so you could just like copy one of those. But if you're like, hey Strim, I'm really trying to figure out how to make dual wield, you know, bludgeoning and piercing weapon for some combo thing, cleric wizard, enchanter, and now it's like, okay, that sounds actually mildly interesting, and that I understand how somebody could get stuck building that, and now that we can work on it, we tinker it, and then maybe people find it interesting. Some people might also want to just showcase their build. They might want to be like, this is something I made, please show it off and see if there's anything else you can find to optimize. Oh yeah, I can do that. What do I charge? It's just I just charged the sun flask. So unfortunately, this is a YouTube or Twitch chat exclusive feature because there's no way to track it on YouTube. On Twitch, whenever we do the predictions, the gambling, you get, as you watch, you just earn the sun flasks over time, and then you can also use them in the predictions, and then that's the currency you use. I do that specifically because I don't really want it to be a paid service, because I would much rather everybody have access to it. And because it's literally just based on viewership, it's like after you've watched for enough time, then you can just buy yourself a build review and then get whatever build you want looked at. And I set the price high enough so then that way it does take a little bit of time, but the main reason is if I didn't do that, we would literally only be doing build reviews all the time, which used to be a problem because the build review price was too low for a while, and then I literally had like 15 coming in every week. I was like, oh, this is overwhelming. This is too much. Do I publish them? Yep, we're gonna be, when we do the build reviews, I'm gonna be publishing all of them. I used to, because I used to post a YouTube video for every single build review that I would put together. And so it was pretty good. And I enjoyed doing it. For the, it also, in the Discord channel, there is also, under DDO advice, there is literally build reviews. So after I finished the review, I would then tag it in there, so you could then find the files yourself and go through it if you wanted to kind of noodle it over. You're like, oh, that idea is really cool. You can have it as well. It basically means that if you do submit a build review, your build becomes public domain, where anyone can now get access to it and then play around with it. Richard, post spell proc stuff, unless they didn't really affect that build. It affects it, but not as much as you would think, because the spell proc, all it did is make it so meta magics weren't affecting it, because they weren't supposed to. And so you're losing at most 300 spell power, which is substantial. Like 300 spell power is not nothing, but it's also like, it's not that crazy. I think everything's still fine. Similarly, my Warlock, after the change, is unchanged because some people are like, oh, Stream, your Warlock's gonna get nerfed because of the changes. And guess what, suckers? I don't have offensive meta magics. I'm a Warlock. I can't use them. It makes it easier, so I didn't get affected at all, which is nice. The cleave feats have increased crit properties. Yeah, they buffed the cleave feats. It is a crazy thing to think about, but yes, cleave and great cleave are actually good feats in current year. In the modern 2026, cleave is a good feat. We're working on a Lemania update for today that will answer a lot of questions about this topic. Ooh, Lemania. And I'm assuming the topic is new exciting stuff we expect when the level cap goes up. Yeah. I hope we get new exciting stuff. Pretty much my biggest complaint about Lord of the Rings Online is that the level cap increases and literally nothing is added. No new skills, no new abilities, no new trade points, just straight nothing. It's just an economy reset where all your items are no longer usable, which I actually don't mind. Some people really hate the resetting in MMOs where like a new expansion comes out and it invalidates all the things you've been farming before. But for me, I kind of think of it a lot of like the seasonal games that you play. So I think of it like how in Path of Exile, every new season is a brand new server, so you have to make a new character and start from scratch. I kind of like it because it kind of gives you that refresher of like, oh yeah, this is happening and then this is happening, and you're kind of like starting from scratch. And so I kind of like that with the new expansion. Every end game feels different because each end game has different set bonuses and different specific items. So, you know, if you play during well, what am I thinking of? Like the Umbar expansion, Corsairs of Umbar, then you got to experience the encouraging shout captain gameplay where one of their skills changed, so their routing cry became like this AoE raid-wide heal, which was kind of sick. Or sorry, not group-wide heal, and it was targeted. It was probably one of the best skills they've ever gotten. Whereas this time, now you kind of get like these echoing heals, so you turn your biggest heal into a heal plus heal over time combo, which makes it a lot more flexible, so it feels very different. Wow, that's insane, dude. I can't even see across the street. It's pouring so bad. So I don't mind when there are resets like that. I just wish like if the level cap is going to go up, so I have to like go out and do more things and level up all my characters, I want to get something new for it. So DDO at least delivers in that. Where like, you know, at 30 you get like the legendary feats, and then at 34 they added, I mean, it's pretty much just Titan's Blood, but Titan's Blood is good.
You hear someone clearing his throat.
We all love Titan's Blood. I mean, some of you guys have heart charts, but for those of us that don't, Titan's Blood. I actually do have a heart chart. That's not the point. Whee! Oh, and somebody asked me what was the split of this character. So this character is 14 Sacred Fist, 5 Dragon Lord, 1 Monk. 5 Dragonlord because Dragonlord's one of the best trees in the game, so we're using Dragonlord for Conqueror here because it's very, very good. 14 Sacred Fist, so we get access to Holy Sword. This character is going to be using the Eidolon of Shadow, which is quite a good weapon. And then the 1 Monk is because it gives access to the stances, so I get access to the Ocean Stance as well as the Sun Stance. Both are good for separate reasons. Sun Stance for more damage and Ocean Stance for more defense, and I can swap between them whenever I feel like I need to. It gives me a huge amount of extra defense because it gives me bonuses to saves, again, the dodge bonuses, stuff like that. But then, even more importantly, some of the core abilities like Henshin Mystic granting me melee power, Imbue Dice, and the access to the I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Porous Soul is the name of the attack, where you can increase the amount of acid damage monsters take by 10%. Because I'm using the Imbue from Dragonlord, it increases that damage by effectively 10% on every target, which is nice. So that's pretty much the main reason why I'm doing that. Now, I'm going to be using Greatswords, which you're not able to be centered in as a monk. However, Eidolon of Shadow gives you, because it is a Shadow Blade, it actually has, monks may use it without becoming uncentered. So I can use a 2-handed Greatsword without becoming uncentered, and it's all good. And I can be, I don't get it as a favored weapon, however, I'm able to get it out of the Divine Crusader tree, so I can get it favored Greatsword here, so I'm able to use it. Have I done Shining Crescents? No, they've been sitting in my bank for a little while. Movement speed increase? I believe movement speed increase is 3? I don't think it's, I'm pretty sure it's not 1, but I could be wrong about that. Knowing monk things is not things that I know. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea behind the build. It's hopefully going to be fun. Pure Charisma Paladin. The way that you get Charisma hit and damage, you get it in multiple ways. Number 1, you get Charisma hit and damage from the Religious Feat. Where is it? Religion. Divine Dream. So because I'm a follower of the Path of Light, which is the Sacred Fist thing, or like a religion, you get Charisma hit and damage with key weapons. As long as it's a key weapon, you can use Charisma hit and damage. I also get Charisma hit and damage from Purple Dragon Knight, because Cormyrean Knight Training, you can use Charisma hit and damage with a Greatsword, just if you want. And then lastly, I get Charisma hit and damage from the Eidolon of Shadow. And it's not that they stack together, it's not that I get all 3 of them at the same time, but the big benefit is that because I get Charisma hit and damage in 3 separate places, it means that it's very, very easy for me to... Oh, they're already at the end. Goddamn. It's very, very easy for me to always have a charisma weapon the entire time leveling, because during the leveling process, and probably till I hit 29, I'm just going to rip the Sword of Shadow, because it's really good, and it does uncenter me, so I can't use any of my monk abilities, but that's okay. I don't need to use them until I get to the later on, when I get to use the Eidolon of Shadow. Now, you also need to be centered to use your Sacred Fist abilities, and given that I'm 14 Sacred Fist, it means I can't use some of my cool spells, so I will in the future be dropping Angel Skin in exchange for Sacred Flame Empowerment, which gives me 3 Imbue Dice and also grants me Bane damage on critical hit, scaling off of my Imbue Dice, which ends up being a really large amount of damage. So the idea is this character is going to be a real DPS, and I'm probably going to be using it for heading into the new expansion. I really just wanted to get a chance to look at the Eidolon of Shadow in a modern context. This is one of my favorite weapons in the entire game. I just think it's really sick because it is a pure Force Greatsword, which is awesome. And the only things in the game that are resistant to Force are Helmed Horrors, which are unfortunately in modern content. So in the Relentless Raid, you have to deal with Helmed Horrors. But outside of that, there's no issues there. And it comes with Constricting Nightmares, which reduces physical and magical resistance rating, but it doesn't summon oozes, which is one of the big problems with the ooze effect, is that that's the same Legendary Green Seal effect, Legendary Ooze, which has that effect. The Legendary Ooze has the problem where it summons oozes as you fight monsters. And this might not seem like it's that big of an issue, but the problem with summoning oozes is that they cause aggro problems. The oozes get in the way, the oozes will randomly aggro monsters, and during raids, they can oftentimes block up monsters so you can't pull them places. So for example, if you've ever done the raid, the Hydra raid, Den of Vipers, what happens is you have to like move the heads around and pull them into these 4 corners. So you cut the head off the Hydra, and then you have to move the head and then kill it in a circle to like bind it, so that way the head doesn't just grow back. But the problem is, if you're looking at the oozes will get in the way. And because the oozes get in the way, they will sometimes aggro the heads. They'll prevent the heads from moving. The heads can't get around them, and it makes the raid really frustrating. So I am very happy to be able to have the Constricted Nightmares effect without having to worry about that. Now, it's also a really rare one. The ooze effect, it's in a couple places, but it's relatively rare. I don't know if there's any current meta builds that are running the ooze style effect. So if you do end up, I will be posting this build once I'm done with it to show you like what you need, what tools you need, and all that. But the Eidolon of Shadow, it is a unique weapon, and thanks to the changes where you can now hit magic resistance rating, it's not going to do as much damage. One, because it's a two-handed weapon, and two-handed weapons are like 40% behind single weapon fighting and two weapon fighting. They just do less damage because you hit half as often. That's just how it works. So you just don't do as much damage with a two-handed weapon as you do would like to. But the bigger change is that since you can actually force is affected by magic resistance rating now, so as you debuff enemies and reduce their magical resistance rating, you'll increase the damage of the sword, which was not the case in the past, which is actually pretty relevant. So being able to dump enemies magic resistance rating by like 60 to 100 is pretty common in endgame. The other issue is that physical resistance rating is easier to reduce. There are more things that reduce physical resistance rating than magical resistance rating. On the very basic level, Dust reduces physical resistance rating by 35, and Ash reduces magical resistance rating by 21. So
Haywire
it's just less.
to the glowing quarterstaff collector.
Also, I like that we have Harambe from the guild Return to Monkey. That's great. So because it's a force damage use hitting magic resistance rating, you'll inherently do less damage because there are less magic resistance rating debuffs. But yeah. It is what it is. It's still cool. It's still unique. And I think it can be reasonably powerful. So that's why we're toying around with this. Plus also, I posted Charisma Paladin many a year ago with a character wearing all purple with purple weapon. And now I'm doing it again. But instead of doing it in 2021 with the release of Feywild, it's now going to be in 2026 with the release of Out of the Abyss. Out of the Abyss is supposed to be coming out this summer. I don't know if there's an exact date. I think it's like July, August, somewhere in there. My brother's getting on to do Chronoscope. Oh, I'll do Chronoscope. So yeah. So I'm excited to be able to like showcase this build and also get some people excited, and maybe it's got some cool stuff. I do want to do Duergar. Duergar is still on the list. But Duergar isn't as interesting fundamentally because as a race, it's just like outside of the cool throw barb synergy, it doesn't really do anything special. It's good, and people like I know it's like, oh, the enlarge is like cool. What do you mean it doesn't do anything special? It does enlarge. Like, it just makes your character model big. It doesn't actually increase your attack range. And it doesn't actually do anything mechanically. It just gives you like a little bit of stats. So again, it's powerful. It's just not like, it's not interesting. It's not like Arcane Trickster, you know, like a whole class. It's got a whole bunch of new buttons and spells and different things that it does. The Iconic does look cool though. I do want to mess around with the Iconic a little bit. Yeah, and it's not as unique as Dampier. July 22. Or is there an official date? That doesn't give me a lot of time to get this build out then. Oh god. Is VIP cost getting increased in DDO like in Lotro? There's been no announcement of such a thing. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but in Lord of the Rings Online, the concurrent resub price is increasing in Lord of the Rings. So what I mean by that is like, before it used to be $100 for a year for Lord of the Rings for the sub, and same in DDO. It's $100 for the year. In Lord of the Rings, they raised the price of the sub. Not the base sub. The base sub is still $15.99 or like $14.99, so it's like $15 a month. But now, instead, it's going to be, I think it's like $12.50 or $13 a month if you get the year. So you're only saving like $2 a month now, as opposed to saving like $5 a month. Or actually, I think it's even more than that, because 100 for the year, that's like 8 something. So basically it was like if you bought a year in advance, or you bought the whole year worth of sub, it was like half price basically. Anyway, their whole argument is they haven't raised the price since they went free to play. So, and not even raised the price of the thing, like the base sub. If you just go month to month, if you play for 1 month and that's it, your price is not changing. But they haven't announced anything for DDO.
Arrived at the Chronoscope excavation site.
And yeah, I definitely understand. As a consumer, I don't like paying more for things. I hate it. But yeah, I really dislike paying more for stuff. But at the very least, with something like Lord of the Rings Online, it's like the first price increase that they've done in like the whole time, so I don't mind it as much. Versus like every other service out there that is like, hey, by the way, you know, it's you want to watch Netflix? Guess what? We're gonna raise the price every year. If you want to watch it, you gotta pay more every single year.
Yes, that was in Stormreach.
It's actually the reason why I recently canceled my Spotify subscription, because they're like, hey, we're raising the price again, and we're not giving you anything special. I'm like, okay, see you later.
Overwhelmed us. People were panicking, trying to flee.
I have music. I have physical media.
I lost sight of Nat. Oh, Nat, where did you go?
I'm gonna have to go back to buying CDs, man.
Nell and her companions vanished.
Did I already buff? I did buff.
Before
Nice.
you can follow, a green creature appears out of nowhere
Rare.
and sneers. All right, boys. Tremus's orders are to kill the squid face and anyone else left here.
It is pretty cool. I do enjoy having CDs. The issue is having a CD player. I actually don't own a CD player anymore, so I'll have to figure that one out.
It appears Caratrix survived their attack. The Mind Flayer struggles to its feet.
But yeah, there's just like a lot of services that I don't have the current desire to spend that money on. And honestly, the thing I've definitely thought about not spending money on anymore is my phone. Because like I use my phone to call some people, but I can get around with not actually needing like a real phone. Because most of the time if I receive an incoming call, it's like spam calls almost every single time. I'm like, do I really need a cell phone? Interesting question. Yeah, Timeblade has a really great model. It's got like sick looking crossguard. Like the red gemstone on it. Get him. Whack him. 8,000 damage. I'm level 23. Get him. Landline for emergency services. Yeah, like I do need to have a cell phone, but I don't wanna. If there was a better way to like deal with all the stupid spam calls that you get all the time, maybe. It's just annoying. Seems superfluous. But yeah. Anyways, we're gonna be checking out Lemania when Lemania does come up, so I'm looking forward to that later today. I actually didn't know there was gonna be Lemania today. Again, I'm curious to what's gonna be on Lemania, because I guess it's probably just a lot of the Out of the Abyss quests. I know some people don't like seeing the quests ahead of time, which I totally get it. I'm also not the biggest fan of seeing the quests before they come out. However, I do like to get the chance to give some feedback to the devs, so I like to run through each of the quests one time just to give... Like, I do the no reading pass-through, so I don't give any text corrections. But I do the no reading playthrough where I read nothing and I do not know what the story is, but I just kind of meander around and make sure the quest is functioning, look for specific bugs, things where I'm like, oh, this should be done X, Y, or Z. For those wondering what specific types of feedback I give, there's the quest Party 101 in Vecna Unleashed, and inside that quest, you literally help one of these guys, like, start a party. And so I, after playing it, at the end, you get a cake, and I went to click on the cake, and I was like, what the hell? I can't have a piece of cake? It's on the table. What? And so as I mentioned that, one of the developers who created Party 101, I believe it was Convalaria, was like, oh, good idea. And now you can eat the cake in that quest. So, you're welcome. I mean, it was Convalaria that did it. My idea. And so that's why I sometimes do that. How long is Lemania going to be open? I'm not sure. If it's like every other Lemania, it's usually like a couple days. Are we doing all optionals? I don't know. Our leader has said nothing. Oh, we'll figure it out. Recalls? No, so I
There's
miss every call,
something
but
about
it's
that
spam. Ah,
half-elemental
perfect.
girl. A certain je ne sais quoi.
All right, you're gonna get a crooked smile out of me for that one, Bobby. You're gonna get a crooked smile out of me. Bobby, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate the support. 51 months is a very long time to resubscribe. And I hope you're doing very, very good. Je ne sais quoi. Oh my god. That's funny. Get more elemental blades. Yeah, well, given that I want a Mind Cleaver. Like, I think the raid should just feature a Mind Cleaver for sure. Given the fact that, you got like the Shadow Blades and stuff. So the raid should 100% feature a Mind Cleaver. If we don't get a Mind Cleaver as a weapon from the raid, we riot. This is, I'm letting you guys, I'm letting this into the universe. If we play the new expansion when it comes out, and then the raid comes out, and there is not a Mind Cleaver raid weapon that can get a sentient jewel in it, so you can use Mind Cleavers as an endgame weapon, riot. Yep. Also, what's up, Okami? How you doing? Adventurer. So many dead adventurers. These poor guys. If we don't get a thrown weapon from the raid, I don't care about anything else like that. When it comes to raid items, as long as the raid items are cool, that's all I really want. I want cool items. I want items that have unique effects. I want items that make you think about them. At this point in DDO, there's so many good items, and you can make so many good builds, that it's like, I don't need powerful gear, because there is powerful gear. There's always going to be powerful gear, and the numbers are just going to go up on the new items. Give me some cool items. I want something that goes like, how do I use that? What am I going to do with this? Oh, we saved the Stormreach Defenders. Nice. Let's go. Use his crowbar weapon. Oh, yeah.
Bring the key back to me.
I mean, if we get a cool throwing hammer or throwing axe in the raid, that'd be kind of neat. Like from Dryad? Yeah, Dryad weapons are definitely some peak weapon design. Like the whole dripping with magma on the magmatic weapons was really cool as like a new concept. You had like the Shadow Blades, the Frost Blades. Royalty's Frigid Response was a very, very good effect for those of you that didn't actually get around to playing with it. Very, very good weapon effect. It's basically just like freezing ice, or like it's just legendary ice, but with a higher DC, and it went off a lot. It was very nice. This is not inherently useless, even if it's niche. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, alternate stats is also kind of cool. Like, the build-around pieces being in the raid are kind of cool, man. Give me that. One thing I've said, and I don't think will ever happen, but this is what I would like to have happen. I would like to see SSG make it so that the rare items that drop from quests, instead of just being better items, or like unique items, I'd rather just see them be better items. So, you know how like every quest is like rare now? Every modern adventure? Also, Clairlise, Raiders, welcome. We're just talking about what we want to see out of the new expansion. But instead of like having the Heart Shard be a rare like in Chilla Ravenloft, and it's this ultra rare thing that can be build defining, instead I would rather the Heart Shard just be a regular drop, but then there's like a version that drops that has a slightly higher stat. So as an example, it's like got like a couple item levels higher, like one item level higher. So the rare version has literally more stats that you can get on anything. But it's like ultra rare. So you can get the lower stat version of the item and then try to farm out for the rare that's like a one level higher and gives you that slight bit higher in stats. I would much rather that version of rare, because it means that like rare items that are build enabling have still a accessible version. Exactly, like a perfected versus the base version. Although even in a simpler sense, so I don't really want a unique effect, I would just want a higher stats. So for example, like, let's say Hallowed Castigators, imagine this is an endgame item. I can get regular Hallowed Castigators, but rare Hallowed Castigators comes with like 100 devotion and like 15 healing lore and like 11 sheltering, something like that. where it's just slightly better than the regular one. So when you pull it, you're like, oh, cool, I got the rare. But you're not like, oh, I have to farm for the rare, which has a 0.2% drop rate. So I don't know why I would even want to do it. Beard Whip Whirlwind Attack? A lot of the Dwergar seem like they have shorter beards. Unless I'm mistaken. When I was looking through them, a lot of the visuals, they have like a lot of shorter beards. That's how I view rare filigrees. Yeah, rare filigrees are cool, but they're not necessary. So you can get started without them, but then when you upgrade to them, it feels very satisfying. Blood plate. The bank is closed. Leave or your lives will be withdrawn. I love that line. It's so good. My armor, my smiths. I need replacements. Yo, what's up, Fireman? How's it going in Inferno Land? It is also very, very, very hot and very fiery here. However, it's pouring rain.
You have the deposit box key. Now, to return to
Sunday, a bit less today. Yeah, hopefully the temperature is able to cool down for you guys. Before Bobby Arizona comment, it's coming. Coming. Yeah, it's very difficult when you live in a place that does not have the temperatures like throughout the year. So it is not something you're expecting and you don't have the infrastructure for it. I've seen a lot of people online being like, I don't understand. How come all the Europeans don't just have like air conditioning? Number one, air conditioning is like staggeringly bad for the environment. So a lot of the buildings that you'll find in a lot of European countries are actually built for like passive cooling, where they have specific window placement. Like it's built with like good engineering to have the buildings like be able to be cooled without having to force cool them. Like, you know, putting your not having any east or west facing windows as an example, or having like convection currents through your actual home so you can kind of move air out of it very quickly. There's a lot of really good stuff like that in a lot of the buildings, because air conditioning uses a ton of energy. And on top of that, the way that air conditioning literally works is you take the hot from the inside and put it to the outside, which does not help when it's hot outside. And it takes energy. It produces a lot of heat. So, again, not ideal. This is not me saying air conditioning is bad, but like finding ways to cool down without directly using air conditioning is a good idea. And it's a good way to... it's also more efficient that way as well. That being said... my god, if you're not prepared for it, it gets you. And so in places where the temperature doesn't really go above like 28 degrees, you don't need to think about oh, we're done. Nice. You don't really need to think about air conditioning. I'm sure probably lots of you have experienced this. Like if you live in a pretty moderate area, like a coastal city, you probably don't have to deal with it as much. Kind of big. It has many countries. Yeah, it's pretty huge. There's like 7 or 8 countries in Europe. It's crazy. Boom. They're in Greece for this for a year. Oh yeah. Yeah, I do know that in Greece because they expect it. They've got a lot of AC. Lots of south winds. Portable AC is the only way to survive. Yeah, you just sit in front of it and stare into it. You get like multiple fans all pointing at you. So yeah. Don't forget to drink your water, everybody. If it's very hot, don't forget to drink your water. And counterintuitively, also make sure you do have some salty foods now and then, because if you are sweating a lot, you are actually going to be losing some sodium. So not eating a lot of salty food, just make sure you're managing your salt intake as well. Also, Wrath, welcome back to the stream team. Appreciate this work. You're having a fantastic day. Glad to have you here. What's up, young man? How you doing? Sorry I haven't been around to raid. I'm working on overcoming the exhaustion induced by my new medication. So hopefully we're getting there. But we'll see.
My other
Norway's
side
north for me. Why would they
minions.
install
Come,
AC in the
destroy
fjords?
the
Well, that's just it, right?
model
Like, I wouldn't expect that you would need air conditioning in Norway. But it's a moving heat wave, so hopefully the heat wave will end for many of the Europeans who are currently experiencing excessive heat. And slowly leveling? Hell yeah. I kinda love slowly leveling. Maybe it's because I'm getting old. And all these damn kids are all running too fast, sprinting through everything, not taking any time to see nothing. But I have been enjoying just like, yeah, you know what, I'll do a quest here. I'm gonna take a bit of a break. I'll do a quest here, I'll do a quest there. Oh, I'll look at this. Do we think we might see a little needle move a little further in the DC relief in Romania? I hope so. I hope so. Ooh, yeah, rain is nice. Rain helps cool everything down. Words, you're immune to exhaustion? True. Eventually to become metal. Also burrow deep below to escape the sun. The problem is it doesn't entirely work because, like, again, you need to have the right currents. Going a little bit underground is cooler. Going very underground is warmer. As weird as it sounds. It's the reason why, like, there's several large caverns where you'll see these like giant crystal formations and stuff, and it's because inside all of these caverns there's extremely high amounts of humidity, heat, and pressure, which then allows large crystal formations to form. There's also when it comes to mining as well, like managing temperatures while mining is also a problem because, again, as you go underground it gets hotter. Take tactics even if it's not as much. I don't think tactics generally need it. I think tactics for the most part is fine. I think the issue is disparity between how different abilities are calculated. A great example is, like, I don't have it, but yeah, like Dragon's Roar, which is breath weapons and stunning bonuses on 10 versus something like Stunning Shield, which is 10 plus character level. So if you're level 34, it's a 44 base DC, so it hits everything for the most part. So there's a lot of disparity, which I think is the bigger issue. There needs to be like needs to be is a strong word, but it would be nice if there was like a kind of a balance that went across, a balance patch of like normalizing some DCs, some places. Mentioning abuse threat scaling on the forums, do you know if anything ever came from that? I believe that hasn't been fixed yet. I believe that is still a problem, but I couldn't tell you. Will be a storm between us in the UK? I'm not sure. I'm not in the US, I'm in Canada. If the videos keep buffering, I'm not sure. On my end, it's still playing clean, but unfortunately I'm not in the UK, so I can't tell. It's just add spell DCs to trances. I mean, that is quite the band-aid fix, is to add spell DCs to trances. I don't know if I would want that, but they could do that. I mean, if you want a quick fix, they changed some of the items to change the scaling. I would say just set the scaling to like stunning DCs, or like the DCs tactics. So if I get an evocation item, it gives me plus 9 evocation at level 15. That being said, I'm imagining the pen and paper players rolling around in their graves being like, what? Level 15 item gives you plus 9 to your DCs?
You're the one who will die when I use the sliver of time to drain your youth.
So yeah, there's a little bit of that too.
The sliver of time shattered.
I think a bigger issue is I like the item changes, but I would like to see more of the changes built into some of the class mechanics. Because a simple example is stuff like a lot of the trees only get like +1 DC in them, which means that the itemization, like, the problem with having itemization solving all of your problems, itemization solving your damage, itemization solving your defense, your DCs, is that you can't have all of those things at the same time. I would much rather a system where pure spellcasters don't have to worry about DCs as much, because their spells will land and they can focus more on like damage or other types of stats, but hybrids have to kind of focus more on the DCs. Not like it should be granted to you, but there should be like easier avenues, if that makes sense. But, you know, it's a difficult one. Changes in Edward's writing spell power and spell DCs and variants of items. So I'm gonna say this until I'm blue in the face, and everyone's gonna disagree with me. I think it is currently good that spellcasters don't have the damage that they used to in R10s, because if you do undo that patch and just let spellcasters one-shot everything, you just trade out the current meta, which is crossbow users one-shotting everything, for alchemists one-shotting everything. It doesn't solve any problems. It just moves the problem onto somebody else. I think there just needs to be a more holistic fix where the AoE spells need to be nerfed. They need to add single target spells to make it so that are high damage and cheap, so casters can feel like they're useful all the time, and then they can undo the nerf. But if it's like, oh, cool, they get their damage back, and now it's like, cool, one multi-vial clears every room. I mean, sick. It's just the same thing as one repeating crossbow blast clearing every room. Hopefully we get casters to have new systems. Yeah, we'll see. You want Injustice? I never played Injustice. I didn't play any of them games. That being said, though, more varieties of spell DCs, I whole 100% agree. The change was good, like the conceptual change of like making the spell DCs having a little bit more power if you have like actual like mainline DC, I think is a good idea. I actually think that's a really good idea. The problem is there's so few items that give you like pure DCs. Like let's just pick one. So let's say you want to use transmutation items. So if I roll it here, there's 1 12, 1 11, 2 9s, and an 8. What's the 112? Baron Aubriker's monogrammed gloves. So you have to wear gloves if you want the 12. And then if you want an 11, you have to wear the legendary band of Manifest Magic, which does kind of give 3. It's neat. It's not horrible. Oh, but it comes from Yegora or Romira and Juvian's right chest. Oh, that is a pain in the ass to farm. Oh god. Or you have to step down to 9. Which one you have to have the transmuter staff, which is one of the most awful pieces of garbage in the game. Or the club, which is pretty bad as well, because it's meant to be crafted. So awful stuff. So you're basically limited to a singular item in the entire game if you want to have that happen. Whereas by contrast, if I type in stunning, oh no, where's my stunning items? But yeah, if I go to stunning items, there's 117 and then 3 16s, 18 15s, because there's so many more of these items. So even though there's like, it's rarer to get the top end, because I guess there's only 1 plus 17, which is, oh, and this is a craft, dude. It's miserable stunning, so you can craft it. Oh, anyway. For DCs is kind of crazy, yeah.
Looks like the underground highway to
It's mostly because it scales a lot harder than that. Almost all my items are stunning. Hey, hell yeah.
The spectators may not be friendly.
Think we need more Abjuration DC gear? Yes, we do. We don't have any Abjuration DC spells, but we could have some. Something I thought was interesting. I was reading through, I've been playing some Pathfinder pen and paper, and I was reading through psychics and how psychic stuff works, because out of just sheer curiosity, because I've never used psionics for anything in a pen and paper game. And it was interesting to find that psionics are effectively just spellcasters who cast spells in a slightly different way, but they're effectively just spellcasters. But a lot of their spells are divination spells. And like, I guess that makes sense. You're psychic, so you can like divine, and it's like you're reading minds, you're like divining stuff. But a lot of the damage spells are divination, or damage abilities are divination effects, which I thought was kind of weird. The buy new content tax? Yeah. Well, I don't have an issue with higher level content having higher numbers and new items. The issue is we have so many stats and not enough items that kind of account for all the stats. Again, it's sort of like what happened with Inquisitive. You guys might not remember this, but many generations ago, Inquisitive was in the game, and when they first added it to Dungeons & Dragons Online, there was a bit of a weird problem where there weren't really any crossbows. Because for the majority of DDO's lifespan, yeah, there was a crossbow here and there, but it was obvious that repeating crossbows were just better than crossbows. Like, why would you ever want to use a regular crossbow when you can just use a repeating crossbow? A strictly better version of the same thing. So, the majority of the crossbows that are in the game, there's a few exceptions. You know, Storm, as example, is an exception. The Ratcatcher. But there's way more repeating crossbows all throughout DDO's history, special named repeating crossbows. So then when Inquisitive got added, we then got, of course, the repeating the crossbow from the raid, Hallowed Splinters. I think that was it. But it basically meant that if you want to use like a special, you know, crossbow, enjoy using a Barovian crossbow every single time, because it's the only one you've got access to. I agree, Axlet. I actually think it's very cool that you have to be like at a calm mental state to be able to cast. It's very interesting. Yeah, that part's cool. Also the fact that you your concentration checks are twice as hard as every other character, because it takes even more focus to concentrate on the psychic stuff. That being said, the amount of psychic spells they get to cast is really big, so it's fair. It's like a fair trade-off. What about? Does this trip work? My trip DC. 51. Hell yeah. You guys remember when improved trip didn't function? Those are the good old days.
Inside, scarred and muscular troll.
I need more damage though. I need more water too.
Gladiators in ready room 1.
You think I have enough time to get water while they're talking? Let's find out.
A last-minute team for today's bloodbath, all the way from Stormreach. Angry howls erupt from the crowd. No reason to worry. Crusher's kobolds and the Mudwallow ogres are hungry for blood, and they're joining forces against the Stormreach team.
I'm back. I made it. Just in time. Etheric shards. I will have to look at that. Yeah, I was more or less just reading over like the classes. I also do like that there's like both like the psychic and then there's also like the occultist, which is kind of cool. So it's like you're kind of half-caster. What is etheric shards? Etheric shards. Oh, it's a long spell. Oh, that's kind of cool. You basically make like psychic
Quest
glass
completed.
that everybody has to walk through,
Welcome
even
back.
ethereal creatures.
Hope that you're staying cool.
Oh, I'm staying cool, Hartman. You know how I'm staying cool? That's right, not thinking about it. That's the best way to deal with the heat. Is it too hot where you live? Drink water and then try not to think about it. Ah, it'll keep you nice and cool. Also, welcome back to the stream team for 51 months. Appreciate the support. We're doing very, very good. Glad to have you here. I hope you're doing very, very well.
Their luck has run out. The horns of fury and the maelstrom princes have slain
I got
hundreds
some water,
of
though.
their kind. This should be the shortest fight we've ever
Yeah,
seen.
make sure you keep yourself hydrated, everybody. Oh, that reminds me. I'm gonna forget to do this because I'm stupid. Oh, yeah. I hate how there's the ogre. It has to be the ogre magi that is the boss, the one that turns invisible, and then you can't kill it instantly. It's very frustrating. Day without denials, the day you have to face. True. When playing Helldivers, the number of times where it would come up. Oops, what am I doing? Nope. Okay. Oh, it's here. Oh, okay.
Fighters are entering the arena. The battle is on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I wonder if that works. I'll have to test that in a bit. Apparently I have some commands I didn't realize I had. The block got updated. Any rumor there might be a Lemania this week? There is going to be a Lemania this week. Apparently it might be as soon as today. According to Cordovan, we're working on a Lemania update for today that will answer a lot of questions about what's coming up. So we're gonna get Lemania about some of the stuff that's coming in the expansion. I assume some quests and some system stuff. I think in the new update they should delete Ogre Magi. I agree. Yeah, when playing Helldivers 2, that's the thing I say the most often is don't think about it. So it'd be like, oh my god, there's a thing, there's a Bile Titan, they got a whatever, and you're just like, don't think about it. It's not important. Don't think about things. Just do your job. Shoot the bad guys. Do the mission. Stop screaming. Any rumors that there may be Lemania? Yeah. I didn't know there was going to be Lemania this week. I think it's just Providence I need to plug him back in. I mean, I've been around. I just haven't really been doing a whole lot, which has been very frustrating. Being fatigued to the point where you can't do anything is awful. Especially when it's hot. You're just like stuck in one spot. I agree. I'm 100% with you, Kentos. It is very weird. There's always something, but for some reason, you have nothing here. And so it's kind of disappointing. I was really looking forward to getting some new feature. But yeah, there's no enhancement tree. There's no archetype. We didn't even get an archetype with Dwergar Mind Cleaver. And with one of these, -5 damage. Yeah, we did get a Dwarf Tree rework. Again, I'm not saying Dwergar isn't cool. I like Dwergar. For the record, I think Dwergar is cool. I will be playing some Dwergar. I will do some stuff with Dwergar. But, base Dwergar doesn't sell me. I'm gonna have to get Racial Completionist again, but it's just kind of I'm not a big dwarf guy. This is me. Mushroom Friend took a lot of work, maybe. Yeah, because especially if you don't like Dwergar, that's the issue whenever a new race gets added. If people don't like Dwergar, a lot of people will, like, play it for their 3 past lives and then not touch it again. It's this thing that happened to Shifter as well. And honestly, even Tabaxi. You don't see a lot of Tabaxis running around Stormreach. Was a Warlock or Alchemist Epic Destiny? Yeah, give me the Serpent. Item damage immunity doesn't work on Mauls. It doesn't? Oh, man. How come you did 2 weapon fighting and not single weapon fighting with an orb in my Dragon Disciple build? Because 2 weapon fighting is cool. Pretty much it. Most of the time it's usually like a cool factor where I'm like, oh, this seems interesting. Tabaxi are ugly? Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Some people don't like shifters, and that's fair. They don't like the visual styles of shifters, but I guarantee you Tabaxi inspired a generation of furries. When my wife walks that I'm not a furry. No, dude, just go into it. Make eye contact and be like, yeah, I am a furry. What of it? Assert dominance. Don't let people push you around. Just let who you are on the inside be on the outside. It's way easier that way. Also, playing Tabaxi are cool because you can be Chester Cheetah. Actually, I don't know if you can make a Chester Cheetah visual on a Tabaxi. Good question. I did try to get Puss in Boots. It's hard to do Garfield. You can't really get a Garfield going on. You can't get the there's like the brows. You can't get the brows right. Do I even want any of this garbage? I don't know. Given the choice between Tabaxi and Half Elf, which would you choose? Oh, I'd choose Tabaxi all day. Hell yeah, man. Is there dominance and pee on him? Maybe don't go that far. I think the Half Elf look really, really cool. I think the main problem, especially from a statistics standpoint, I think Half Elf is kind of not boring. There's got some niche uses. The fact that you got like the dilettantes where you can pull stuff from other classes, I think is kind of interesting. And I do appreciate the Dragon Mark. The Dragon Mark is cool, but I think that just generally Tabaxi's got more interesting stuff going on with the dex and damage with anything while in animal form, the claw swipe, the movement speed, gets it done. Level up. Big map. My teeter me on Friday and I'm tired and way too hot. Yeah, but just think about it. If you make the map, that'll distract you from how tired and warm you are. Oh, I don't remember what feat I took. Okay, so I took Patience. Patience is very good. I believe I don't want to take any of these. I believe I have to take the monk feats. I believe I need a monk stance feats. I need master reforms. We take master reforms, I believe.
Word from far-off Gianthold reaches Stormreach. Strange.
You paying 10k for plus one greatsword of pure good because the pure good visual is cool. Dude, I wanted ice weapons because when you hit guys with ice, they freeze and they explode. Oh, dude, the defensive bonuses? That's why like people are looking at the offensive bonuses. Oh yeah. You know, it's easy to look at the offensive bonuses of going big mode, but the defensive bonuses of going tiny mode are way, way better. Oh my god. I'm a big fan. Okay, what do I need to do now? I don't want to do this. The Crucible. Oh, I don't want to do Giant Hold. Why are there two Giant Hold groups? Oh no. Mordia Reapa. Oh god. I don't want to do this. Two Giant Hold groups. Did I do Epic Giant Hold? Nope. Well, I don't want to make my own party, so that's how you do it. Or bypass and click it? Yeah. I mean, hey, are you out here taking weapon finesse? Grab one. I'm not really very picky with the quests that we're doing right now because I don't have to make the group and I'm feeling lazy. Huh? Oh, this guy. I'm talking to the wrong guy. I'm like, why is this not working? Sealed and Amber? Oh, yeah. Sealed and Amber. There's too many DDO quests that the second I like walk into them, it's like the CIA programming kicks in, and I'm like a robot and I know where to go. I will say new weapon finesse is a lot better. I do like new weapon finesse quite a bit. It's really hard to fit in because I don't think we had enough feats. This might be a controversial opinion. I think we should move to the feat schedule that Pathfinder uses, and not just because I've been playing a lot of Pathfinder, but because there's too many cool feats and we don't get to take enough of them. In Pathfinder, you get a feat every odd level. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So as opposed to getting a feat on every 3 levels, every odd level. And it just means that, like, all those wacky feats that you're like, oh man, I'd like to take weapon finesse, or I'd like to take this or that, or another stat that you can't justify, now you can justify it. It also makes fighters really crazy, because then they get a feat every level. Take Blood of Yuan-Ti. Yeah, I'd like to take Snake Blood as well. New weapon finesse? Yeah, Abracadabra, if you haven't played in a little bit. So weapon finesse was a feat that made it so you could use dexterity to hit with specific weapon types. They made a change to make it so that all weapons that were under weapon finesse, in totality, all of them, now you can just use dexterity to hit and damage with them. Daggers, rapiers, they just accept dexterity. You don't need a feat, they just work like that. So if you put a rapier in your hand and you have an 18 dexterity, you just get dex hit and damage. That's just how it works. However, because of that, weapon finesse didn't have a function. So the solution to weapon finesse is weapon finesse now gives you some, I think it's +3 to hit and 10 fortification bypass. So if you instead want some extra fortification bypass, you can get it. But now it means you can play a dexterity-based rogue at level 1, and it just feels good right away. You don't have to, like, wait until you get a bunch of feats for it to feel good. It just feels good right away. You know, feats and take level 5 toughness, you're good? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Toughness. I feel like a feat every level wouldn't actually be that much better. I agree. I wouldn't want a feat every level, but a feat every other level would be nice. Because think about it, like, right now, if you want to play as, like, even fighters don't really get enough feats for all the things that they want to take. But, like, Cleave and Great Cleave got buffs, so now they're cool. Spring Attack, cool. Whirlwind Attack, cool. They're all powerful. So, like, you want to take them. But if you're playing a melee character, let's say I'm playing not a fighter and not a human, I get 7 feats total during the leveling process. So I have to take combat or stance feat, combat style, combat style, combat style, improve critical. So it only leaves me with 2 feats. If I want to take an exotic weapon proficiency, what if I want to play, you know, Hopesh Rogue for some reason? Well, now that's an extra feat. So you're limited. You can't take Cleave. You can't take Slicing Blow. You can't take Stunning Blow. You can't take Improved Trip or Combat Expertise.
You want the giant relic?
I just think there's a lot of cool feats that are limited, given the fact that every single melee character has to have their prescribed feats of stance, combat style 1, 2, 3, and improve critical, which means you really don't get that many choices. Now, some people might not view that as a bad thing. I just think it would be more interesting for the future of DDO if we just had some more feats to play around with. Fighter a lot weaker in comparison? No, because you could still use those feats on fighter. Dude, the number of fighter builds I've been playing where I feel constrained on feats, or I've been putting together. Fighter has too many buttons to press. That's because you got to get foot pedals. You go to the store, buy one of them, like, driving set get-ups, right? Where you're driving cars, and then get the foot pedal and use the foot pedal. That's your problem. And you got 2 feet, 2 more buttons. They just made the combat feats scale as you level. Yeah, they could do that as well. It is kind of weird. You'd never take single weapon fighting without taking improved single weapon fighting and greater single weapon fighting, so it is weird that it is 3 feats. I don't entirely mind it. It's just like progression. I think if you were to rebuild it from the ground up, you would probably change it or rescale it, but I think because it's kind of the way the system works, where things have like multiple layers of scaling, I don't really mind it. just because that's what's already in the game. Die, everybody. Do I have ship buffs? I have ship buffs, yeah. Good, good, good. But yeah, they could just make it scale. I don't know if it needs to scale though. Idea I hadn't thought of. Anyways, there's a bunch of stuff they got to do. Definitely feats are an area of the game that they can make more interesting. I really like some of the more build enabling feats, the more interesting feats. Some of the epic feats that we got were cool, like trick shot, where it's like after you tumble you get like a bonus. I really like the ones where it's like the staff and orb ones, where it's like the power stancing, where like when you block you like gain a bonus to stats. It's basically like you're charging up and you can use an attack. It's really cool. It's not good, they're bad feats, but it's like cool. It's conceptually very interesting. Alex is a fighting style that rewards you for choosing different weapon types. I agree. That'd be very cool. Yeah, give it a different type of combat style. So imagine, like you take 2-weapon fighting, right? You take regular 2-weapon fighting, but instead of taking improved 2-weapon fighting, you could now take like, I don't know, like improvised fighting or something like that. Improvised fighting is maybe not the right word, but like, so it's like a fighting style that has a bludgeoning weapon in one hand and a slashing weapon in the other hand. You call it like, I don't know, pincer style or something. And then as a result, it then gives you different types of bonuses. That would be cool. Now, you want to come up with like a snappy name for each one. So if there's like a bludgeoning and slashing style, a bludgeoning and piercing style, and a slashing piercing style. And you'd have to make it based on the weapon type and not what it says on the weapon, because there's all sorts of weird stuff like there's several spears, so quarterstaffs that do piercing damage, so they'd have to like make sure it's like no, quarterstaff counts as bludgeoning. It doesn't matter that the quarterstaff is piercing. Well, you can't duel with the quarterstaff anyway, but or like the number of dirks. There are several daggers that do slashing damage. Oh, we have a talkative cleric. A cleric with all the social skills. Hell yeah. I have all the social skills, but I haven't used them. Piercing slashing is fork and knife. Eloquent. Beautiful. Fork and knife style. Ah, I bet you weren't ready for your fist to my face style. What's up, Nubaholic? How you doing? Swish, swish, stab. Swish, swish, stab could work. I haven't watched Red versus Blue in many, 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 many years. Do they still make it? I think it was like Rooster Teeth got like shut down or the studio got closed. They got reabsorbed. I don't remember the details. It's been a while. Anyone got bluff? Maybe. Oh, they rolled a 20. Nice. Each weapon now has a mastery property shown in the weapon tables. Oh, yeah, that's just, but that's like secondary properties of the weapons themselves, as opposed to the style. I don't know, man. Getting like, what if it was like miner style, or not, what was it, excavation style, and it's having a hammer or like a bludgeoning weapon and a piercing weapon. It's like get a hammer and a pick. You could dual wield like board hammer and heavy pick. I don't know. I think there's like an infinite amount of ideas in that direction. I think it just depends on whether that is something that the developers are actually keen on actively pursuing, whether they want that type of style, but you know, we'll see. Hammer and nail. Yeah, hammer and nail. That's a much better way to write that. Thoughts and prayers. Excellent. Yeah, we don't have anything psychic in this game. We probably never will. I don't expect us to get psionics at any point in the future. Mostly because, from a conceptual standpoint, I don't know how it would be different than what happens in DDO. That, and as well, the developers have openly said that after spending so much time working on Alchemist, and basically adding an entirely new spellcasting class that had no other spells, all unique spells for Alchemist, they're like, yeah, we don't want to do that again for a while. Now, granted, that was a while, but yeah. It's been a while since Alchemist came out. I would expect if we got another caster class, it would be like a class that uses largely a lot of the existing spells and then maybe some new ones. Hey, what's up, our team? This is pure Charisma Paladin. Or Charisma Paladin, since the main stat focus here. And then by Paladin, I mean Sacred Fist, Dragonlord, and Monk. So the character will eventually be using the Eidolon of Shadow, which is a great sword that is not physical. So therefore, you can use it while being centered. So it will work with my Sacred Fist and with my Monk. However, I need to get to level 29, and we're not there yet. Don't you love builds that take you to level 29? Oh my god, I'm so slow. How many classes can they add before every new idea becomes a variant of an existing one? Great question. There's always new ideas. That's the thing. You just gotta think outside the box, or even just look for other places for inspiration. There are always new ideas. No, we need this to be flipped the other way. There we go. See you later. I'm not doing this. Like, I do understand the concept that it's like, oh, there's only so many ideas, or like, you know, how can you keep coming up with new classes and new things? And I'm gonna be honest with you, even something as simple as remixing something, but giving us something new, I don't think is necessarily that bad. And again, after looking over some of the Pathfinder stuff, there really is like a nearly infinite well of ideas that you can come up with. In Pathfinder, they have what they call like the archetypes, basically. So, the archetype, basically an archetype is a, I'll grab this. An archetype is basically a version of a class that is, you change out one thing for another thing, you do a bit of a remix, and on top of all of the different types of classes that they have. So for example, one of the classes is called the Hunter, and the Hunter is a 75% Druid. So Druid is 100% Druid in terms of a spellcaster, so it gets level 9 Druid spells. Rangers are half Druids, so they get level 4 Druid spells. And then Hunters, because they're 75% Druids, they get 6th level Druid spells. But their big thing is they get an animal companion, and that's a bigger focus. So Druid gets an animal companion, but the Hunter not only gets animal companions, they get feats for their animal companion, and it's kind of a very heavy animal companion focused class, as well as a bunch of very other hunter focused things, like would you imagine a hunter would do, trapping and all that other stuff. But then on top of that, they also get there's a bunch of different archetypes which change up the types of pets that you have. There are some hunters that don't even use a pet, where you forego it and you basically get the power of the pet. Or there's one called the Divine Hunter, where your pet inherits your pet inherits your alignment and then gain bonuses. So you can either summon a celestial version of the same animal, not summon, but you can get a celestial version or a fiendish version depending on your alignment. And so there's like a bunch of cool stuff like that where you just have to, taking something that already exists and remixing it is a good way to add a new class. So for example, a bard is basically, 2/3 of a, okay, fine, Gabe. A bard is basically 3/4 of a wizard or sorcerer. They don't have exactly the wizard sorcerer spell list, but they have a lot of the wizard sorcerer spells, and they do get up to like 6th level spells. We could have something like for cleric. We don't have anything like that for cleric. There's cleric and there's favorite soul, and then we have paladins, which are half clerics, half favorite souls. But where's the 3/4? We could get something like that. Added into the game, and then what would that look like? A character that's kind of like got a different level of spells, and what would they do? Well, what's somebody who kind of is in between? So you kind of like look at that. You just start with some of the ideas and then kind of go from there. Why not play Neverwinter? Because I don't wanna. Pretty much it. The only time I played Neverwinter, this must have been, I'm gonna be honest, this might have even been a decade ago, because I am unfortunately very old. But the last time I played Neverwinter, it was when they still had the custom dungeon making, where like players could make and create their own dungeons, which I thought was super sick. And I played through a couple of like the custom dungeons. But I only ever did one piece of group content, and it was some dungeon in a sewer. I can't remember most of the details, but I was playing as healer. Because I was playing as cleric at the time, because the cleric got that slide move, and you like hit shift and you like slide across an area, and I was like, oh, that's sick. 5. And so I was playing that, and it was a lot of fun. And then I remember we got to the end, and after killing the final boss, before we got the loot, I got kicked from the group by the other players. And I decided to quit the game forever. And it pisses off the Titan. True. Also, what's up, Hunger Max? How you doing? Problem is DDO doesn't do companions well. Oh yeah, I'm not saying add hunter, but like, you just gotta come up with new ideas. Like, yes, at the end of the day, when you make a new character, you're gonna be a spellcaster or a ranged character. You're not gonna come up with a completely dynamic playstyle that is unlike anything else in the game. But you can come up with something that is thematically different and feels different gameplay-wise, even if it is still just, a melee with different types of spells, different ways of scaling their power. Maybe you've got different levels of healing or different other pieces. That's pretty much the reason why I don't play Neverwinter. I had a bad experience that was so bad I never wanted to go back. I hope Neverwinter does well. It is very heavily based around, well, not very heavily based on, but it's, in the Forgotten Realms, and a lot of people love the Forgotten Realms. I remember a couple years ago they had their Menzo Berenzin expansion that came out. And yeah, so I hope it does well. I hope that people have fun playing it. I just don't really have the desire to play Neverwinter. Dungeons & Dragons Online is my game. Now, if you want to talk about Neverwinter Nights, now you're talking my language. I'll play some Neverwinter Nights. Has like 20 archetypes. Yo, dude, it's so many more than 20. The classes have so many more than 20 archetypes. Unfortunately, time exists. Yeah. Oh, and that's the other issue too, is like when it comes to like, I'm sure Neverwinter has gotten better since the 10 years that I played it, because most games usually do improve over time. And maybe there's like tools to prevent people from like, bullying new players. Because again, I was new. I didn't really know much about the game, so getting kicked out of my first group was a bad way to have an experience. So maybe there's like tools against that have been added into the game. I don't know the answer to that. What I do know is that also MMO RPGs in totality are massive time sinks. They take gigantic amounts of time to do pretty much anything, and they do not respect your time. That's every MMO out there. Some people want to play MMO games that they can just play a little bit, get in and out. And that's not really MMOs. That's like your like seasonal games. It's like other types of things. But MMORPGs, they just take a long time to do everything. Oh man, I gotta do so much grind in this MMO. Like, yeah, that's what they're kind of designed for. That's where the genre really started. There are more modern interpretations of MMOs where they do more of a seasonal model, look at games like World of Warcraft, where they basically expect you to play for like a new content update for like a couple weeks and then turn the game off again. Again, the long grind is like part of the appeal of the MMO genre. And I just don't have the desire to start a long grind in a game I don't really have a lot of experience with. Game is like to pay to win right now. Yeah, I can believe that. But like, it's difficult. I always struggle when it comes to pay to win because, or like the concept, because everyone has like a different definition of what they consider as pay to win. Not saying that I'm disagreeing with what you're saying because I don't have any experience with the game, but it's like for some, the idea of being able to like, I remember this was in a long time ago. This is right before Warlords of Draenor came out for World of Warcraft. They added the level boosts in Pandaria where you could buy a character that was already at the maximum level to prep for the next expansion. So if you wanted to do that, and a lot of people were like, dude, that's like hoarded pay to win. Like you could just like pay and now you have like a brand new character. And when you bought the new expansion, when you bought Warlords, it gave you a level boost. You automatically had a level 90 character, so you could play the new expansion right away. And a lot of people were very upset. They're like, dude, this is huge pay to win. This is crazy. And I never saw it as pay to win because like leveling is the easiest thing to do in every MMORPG. MMOs are not terribly challenging. They're usually designed for you to be able to play solo. They're meant to be enjoyed casually. So like, it's a time. You're saving time by leveling, by paying for it. But are you winning? I don't know. If you could like buy the raid gear either through like RMT, so like unbound raid gear that you can trade with people through real money transactions, that is something I would definitely see as pay to win. If you have equipment that needs to get upgraded with materials and the materials can be purchased for money, like out of the store, sort of something like how in Lost Ark, you need to get all of your enhancement materials to upgrade your armor. So you get the armor and then you have to upgrade the tiers of it, and upgrading the tiers costs materials that you can earn by doing dailies, or you can earn with your credit card. That definitely goes into the territory of pay to win for me, of like you're skipping some of the grind, but like the grind is like the whole game. And also if like that's really the only thing you're doing to improve, like it's not just like you're paying to have your character high level, it's also the entirety of the improvement, where to get the higher tiers of materials you have to do the content or you can pay money for it. For me, that's where it kind of blurs the line. But again, I always find it difficult, so I never really know. And that's also at the end, this is the other thing too, and also personal opinion, I think that the most important thing is like, is the game like fun? Like if the game isn't fun and you have to pay money to make the game enjoyable because like the grind isn't the fun part and so you're paying money, that's where like the pay to win really rubs me the wrong way. Because it's like, if again, I'll use Dungeons & Dragons Online as an example. You can buy an autos box in this game to level yourself to the level cap right away. You can just do that. And you get permanent stat increases by resetting your character back to level 1. So you can max out, then start over. Then max out, then start over. You can pay an autos box, and an autos box, and an autos box, and an autos box, and an autos box, over and over and over. And you can do that for all your past lives. It will cost you like 50 grand, probably, but you could do that. You shouldn't, but you could. But the thing is, you know how you get that? Literally by playing the game on any difficulty. You don't have to make it challenging. You don't have to do anything hard. You have to complete nothing challenging. It's just by playing the game. So if somebody wants to pay $50,000 to the development team to get a maxed out character that they're then probably not going to play that much, I don't care. For me, I'm like, yo, dude, thanks for paying for the video game. That's awesome. I'm just going to play it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to have fun. For me, because DDO is fun, I don't mind those elements of like you can buy a max level character, because the game itself is fun. It's just fun to play. Leveling is fun. Doing quests is fun. It's just a good time. I'm not skipping anything. Like, because the funny thing is, if you pay money and then you get a maxed out character and you pay money because you don't like leveling the game through the game, mostly what there is in DDO. That's pretty much all you get. So yeah. Let me know. Stream time was live. Hey, did you know stream time was live? I am live chugging for cheese. Thank you for letting me know. Brewed over time. That's why enshittification is a word. Listen, enshittification is a thing, and a lot of things are getting enshittified. True fact. But a lot of things do actually improve over time. Again, case in point, DDO has gotten better over the years. It has not enshittified, in my personal opinion. Especially not recently.
Magic crystal at its top. The dust and debris underfoot suggests this passage
So actively making groups level in 7+ landscape and are getting capped in 4 to 5 months is pretty impressive. Oh, dude, absolutely. I do appreciate the games. Lord of the Rings did this a while ago, where they added like difficulty scaling, so you can make the game just harder on the landscape, which is cool. Elder Scrolls Online also added this feature recently, and apparently it's very fun. EVE Online, where you can purchase game sub tokens and use exchange for skill attractions and game currency. Yeah, for sure. But like, I'm gonna be honest with you, EVE Online gets a pass because EVE Online has a functioning economy that crosses over with the real world economy. So like, yeah, it's EVE Online gets a pass just because it is what it is. Yeah, the dice hit shards level 20 and then died on Halo Twilight. Yes, the guy who on day 1 of hardcore, I can't remember which hardcore season it was, but it was one of the hardcore seasons. He used astral shards to gold roll his way up to the level cap of 20. Well, sorry, up to level cap of 19, and thought he only needed a couple more XP. Went into the Veil of Twilight to get some Slayers, and then died.
Better now.
Pay to win is a spectrum. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. EVE is toxic? I don't know. I have not played. I asked Ipsum if I should play EVE Online, and he told me no. Don't play EVE Online. I was unsure if you knew about it. I thought I should let you know you were live. Thanks, dude. Well, here's the thing. I don't know a lot of things. In fact, I know very few things, so it is very helpful when people give me information. You can never be sure. Where am I? Huh? How did I get in here? He was a lot better than it was in 2019. Oh yeah, DDO gets better all the time. Like, the amount of build variety in the game right now is absolutely insane. The different ways you can play your character. Again, understandably, if you are a super high-end, top-end, max-level Giga Chad gamer who one-shots things in R10, you will not feel the build variety because there are some builds that are so much better than others, you will only play those things. But as a casual, such as myself, oh my god, there's so many toys in the toy box to play with right now. Daily dice level up to 20. You pay for it with astral shards. I only have 2 heals. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, but we're going to try.
From beyond the open gate comes a dull sound of footsteps. Dry
Speaking of which,
as rattling bones.
Here. Gambling.
The seer calls out, keep them at bay.
Keep them at bay. There we go. On a simple, like, mechanical level, the fact that there's less lag in DDO now than there's, like, ever been is good. But on top of that, just the number of, like, wide variety of character builds you can do is insane.
Almost done, the seer screams.
But yeah, Maggietti. So what you can do is after you do your gold roll, you can then use 15 shards to do it again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And so if you spend like 8,000 shards, some trade message in game link to the cheap shards. Is that RMT? That's 100% RMT, yes. If you see those accounts, just report them. Also, fun fact, those didn't used to exist for a long time because it wasn't profitable. But now it is profitable. So it is a problem that SSG have to address, is these stupid, like, gold spammers. That is an issue, and they have to look into it and figure out how they're going to solve and address that issue. However, the existence of these these monstrous beings means that DDo's getting more popular.
Another crazed storm's heart falls. There are surely more.
Yeah, because on hardcore you can't buy autos boxes. It's not allowed, but you can do your rolls. So some people have done that.
It is near, I am sure.
Is DDO pop actually up? I don't know. I haven't checked. We should check DDO audit. DDOaudit.com. Let's see here. Population. Population trends is not up yet, so we don't have the data.
The ritual begins.
I'm gonna spam heals in the Stormheart Seer.
The seer looks
Nope, never mind, we got it. We're good.
I could feel him.
So we currently don't have a way to tell.
Of the spell. It is not what we think. But first, the crystal.
Cormier? Wait a minute. Oh, Cormier has almost as many characters, but less player base. Shadowdale has the highest population still. Selling shards is how they profit off of stealing people's accounts? That is correct, yep. But yes, trade chat in-game is just used for people spamming the chat, like all these websites. Oh, I forgot to mention this. This is really, really important. Don't use these RMT websites for three reasons. Reason number one, you're going to get banned. So don't do it. Okay? Reason number two, they get this stuff by stealing things from people. So they steal accounts, they steal credit cards, they steal other stuff, and then they use that to make these transactions. And number three, they're going to steal your account. They're going to extort you for money. Let's say, hypothetically, you know, it's against the rules to do real money trading. Because it is. It's against the rules. You're not allowed to do it. You will get banned. They know this. So you contact them and you say, hey, I want to do a real money trading. And then they go, no problem, sounds good. And they realize, you didn't make a burner account. You're doing a trade on your main character. Guess what? We know what your account is. And we did this transaction. We used a burner account. So yeah, we're going to report you for real money trading unless you give us way more money. Or your account's going to get banned.
Though these skeletal enchanters did not cause
and that 100% does happen. Why? Because the people that are stealing accounts and stealing credit cards are not against extorting you for money.
Now that they are gone.
Don't do it. Don't engage with it. It's not good.
The last giant fall.
I have said it before and I will say it again. If you just don't... Well, if you don't want to engage with the game or it's taking too long to farm it, just take a break. Don't go buy stuff, just take a break. Just take a bit of a break. Tiny little teensy weensy little break.
The seer looks very just in time, says Horror.
Whorl.
The gate to the spires come down. Maddened monsters run through it.
Must kill everything. No, he died. I didn't intimidate. I should have. Ray's dead. So yeah, don't do real money trading. It's bad for you. It's bad for the game. It's bad for everybody involved. Just don't do it.
Ramp winds up to the top of the
There's like 100 reasons as to why you shouldn't do that.
Peak, the true caster of the Madstone spell awaits. A skeletal warlock. This
skeletal warlock.
The Madstone spell.
Reminds me, you down to try the new instance of Lotro sometime soon? Yeah, there's a new instance. Yeah, that could be fun. I have not had the chance to do it. Yeah, that and also, if you wanted to, because you mentioned it to me, and it's just a good idea, it's a wholeheartedly good idea. that
Ancestors' bones used to hide their dirty tricks.
let's just say I would be down to do some hunting, if you know what I'm saying. Predicted Warlock releasing 10 years early? What do you mean? Your game trade instead, safer than buying from dodgy websites? Yes. Quest has a warlock? Oh, well, yeah. That's because they've always had warlocks. Because you have to understand that warlocks, was there a warlock in 3.5 before DDO came out? I think there probably was. Because warlocks in Complete Arcane. And I don't know what year that was. Figuratively warlock and name for an evil sorcerer? Yeah. Witches and warlocks.
Quite some time.
Was Warlock published before Complete Arcane? I don't know when that book was published. 2004. Yeah, so it would have been before. So they could have added Warlock a long time ago, but they didn't. It was all cowardice. I really like Warlock. I'm still working on my video. I'm going to have a build video out for you guys about Warlock. It's going to be, is Warlock good in 2026? You'll get your answer. Yeah, for those of you that missed it, ran some R10s a couple weeks ago with the fully maxed out Warlock with all the fixins. Every single thing in the entire game that affects Eldritch Blast. And I gotta say, the damage is respectable. It hits between 30 and 40k DPS, somewhere in that range, depending on, like, you know, your procs and what have you. And you can get higher if you have more past lives than I do. But so it's got some really good damage for a caster. I was able to kill monsters in R10 as a warlock by just blasting, which is kind of sick. I do enough damage that going into like a legendary elite or Reaper 1 quest feels like I'm doing heroic elite, where you're just kind of blasting everything down. So it does feel pretty nice. However, getting to the higher levels, you still don't have enough damage. That being said, as far as like continuous DPS as a spellcaster, it's pretty good. It's not going to overcome any of the modern top DPS forms, but it's pretty good.
The second Blackguard general has been slain.
There is to be Danny DeVito priming Eldritch Blast saying, so anyway, I started blasting. Have I already done that? Have I done anyway I've started blasting? I've done me doing that. I really wanted to do the more like clickbaity YouTuber title. So the question would be like, in my mind, it's like, is Warlock finally good in 2026? And then the thumbnail is just in all big caps letters, no. And then underneath in smaller letters being like, maybe. NTCs, Barbers. Dragon Lord, what else? What are you talking about, Artem? Like is OP now? Yeah, exactly. Thumbnail and video idea? No, I've been building out my warlock literally for like months, dude. And then you hang out in my Discord and you hang out in my stream and you accuse me of copying you?
These simpletons are unable to see their own destruction coming for them, watching their downfall.
Roll from 1 to 30 in 2 hours? True, that's some clickbait right there. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. It's not exactly that. Yours is not quite how I would do it. But yeah, if I wasn't unfortunately still quite under the weather, it would have happened already. But like I said, I only get like a few hours of like real energy time a day, which sucks. Oh, but that's okay. It'll be coming out. Warlock highest DPS new meta, insane damage. True. This Warlock build is insane. Highest damage build in history. Yeah, Warlock is probably never going to become the meta, but you know what? Who knows? Maybe someday.
A great feeling of dread overwhelms you as you approach Malkian the Mad.
True. I mean, I'm not big into the super clickbaity titles for the most part. I usually, when it comes to something, I like to laugh. I do enjoy laughing. If I can entertain myself, then usually that's good enough for me. Are you trying to make a build, Artem? I don't know what you're... I mean, you could do 8 barb for improved uncanny dodge if you wanted. I probably wouldn't. I mean, improved uncanny dodge is nice. Especially combine that with the improved uncanny dodge you get from the Hood of Unrest. You get double uncanny dodge. Whee! Yeah, I like reaching back into the time capsule because you can use the modern art, but I really enjoy the way a lot of the drawings were done. A lot of the older artists from that era do an excellent job. It's the same reason why I've included for the different artists when it's like their if it's their work, I try to also include like their actual pages, because a lot of those artists are relatively prolific and have been doing it for a long time, so they've been working on a lot of different projects. It was funny because I'm currently reading through this book, the Wrath of the Righteous book, and a lot of the art in here has been done by where is it? Wayne Reynolds. And Wayne Reynolds is also one of the primary artists in the 3.5 handbook who drew most of the character classes, which I thought was sick. And I'm like, damn, what a legend. Also, his website's awesome. You go to his website and he's like, here's all my art. No, you can't. It's like, no, I don't want to talk to you about it. Don't send me emails. It's great. Since suddenly there were hordes of Warhorde repeaters, doggos running around. Yeah. Warlock was pretty big when it first came out. But that's because DDO didn't really have like the scaling. Because Warlock came out before Reaper mode. So before Reaper mode was a thing, damage didn't really matter. It was all about survivability. And Warlock Enlightened Spirit was the nuts. It was also the fact that Warlock Enlightened Spirit and the damage didn't matter what type of equipment you were wearing. It didn't suffer from arcane spell failure at the time. So what you could do is just wear like full plate and a tower shield and have every defensive ability and stack out your con and just never die. So a lot of people were doing that. Blackguard is very cool. And not connect to server and not load? I think so. I'm pretty sure, yeah. If it's not loaded, you can't load it. When do I plan to put it up? When I have the energy. You know, Mr. Lift, you gotta... it's an interesting entrance. I probably would have gone with something else, but you know what? I don't want to harshen your self-expression, so good job, sport. Why sell when you can hoard? Hey man, why walk when you can ride? Sorry. Why walk when you can ride?
The chamber marked by the symbol of
I've been
now lies
okay.
in ruins.
As previously mentioned, I've mentioned this in Discord, so again, if you're there, you probably heard this, but if you haven't, I haven't been streaming just because I got started on a new round of medication, and it's been a lot, and so it's basically been keeping me down, so I only have like a couple hours of energy during the day, and so I've been trying to make sure I use energy for specific things, and I want to get some streaming time in, so I'm using some of that energy for streaming today. So that's the reason why I haven't been getting the videos and stuff out. It's just like, yeah, most of the time I can't really do a whole lot.
A door with an intricate bars any further progress. The
So we'll get it eventually.
door opens to reveal some kind of the doors to the control room fly shut. A bone-chilling echo echoes the room.
New man's been harsh, hopefully it gets better. That's what they say. They say it's supposed to be something that, like, it sucks for, like, the first, like, month, and then it gets better afterwards. The hardest part is not that. The hardest part is that, on top of that, I also had to cut out all the caffeine in my diet. So I haven't had any coffee for 2 weeks, which has been a change. Because I've been a drink 2 cups of coffee every day person for like
the plane of Da'anvi glows brightly
since I was
as the
17.
portal to the plane of Da'anvi opens.
So changing that has been
Small
interesting.
topiaries and perfectly aligned shrubberies fill the room. An old man sitting atop a fountain calls you closer as the bearer
How was the
of
headaches?
justice and
Honestly,
honor falls. The room returns
I didn't
to
really
its
feel it.
original
The headaches were a
state.
non-problem.
The orbs in the
It's more of just, I
receptors
think the
go
fact that like
dark and
the meds
still.
at the same time affected me with the fatigue. I think that kind of overwhelmed me more than anything else. And I got through it. It was like kind of free. I thought it would be a lot harder than it actually was. Because the first time I tried to give up caffeine, as just a simple thought experiment, I was like, oh, I wonder what happens if I give up caffeine for a week and I just don't drink any. And I had a headache for like a day, but then it went away. The bigger problem was not the headache. It was the desire to drink coffee. I would be sitting at my desk and I'd be like, you know what, I could have a cup of coffee right now. It'd be nice. You get a cup of coffee. Driving down the street, oh, I can stop and grab a cup of coffee. Like it was just this constant running thought. But I felt like shit for the past like 2 weeks, so I haven't thought about coffee that much, which has been very nice. It's a little bit more complicated. So like yesterday I had a doctor's appointment pretty early, and so I drove my girlfriend to work, and she wanted to stop and go through the Tim Hortons and grab like a breakfast sandwich. And so we went through, and she got a breakfast sandwich and a cup of coffee. And then even she forgot about it, where she's like, oh, oh, I'm buying. You can get something if you want. And I'm like, oh, no, thanks, I'm good. And she's like, you don't want a cup of coffee? And then she was like, oh, you don't want coffee. I'm like, no. I kind of do, but I also, I can't have no coffee. I can have decaf, but like, I don't know. I'm just drinking water. Water's good enough. Consume liquid water.
The trees wither and disappear.
But yeah, if Lamania comes up too late, we'll probably look at Lamania tomorrow. Like maybe we'll go over some of the patch notes, but we won't really look at any of the major stuff if it doesn't come up kind of soonish. But yeah, it is a interesting experience. I mean, there is like a lot of people probably have this happen to them, but you know, changing up. I'm trying to think of the right way to describe it. Caffeine is kind of like a psychoactive drug. It affects like your mood and a bunch of other stuff. At least it affects my mood for sure. Is this thing gonna kill me? I don't think it can kill me. Maybe it can. I don't know. I'm gonna kill the mind players. Here we go. You switch to booze instead of coffee, you give up coffee in 2 weeks? True. But starting Friday, I have another medication I have to take. And that medication means I can't drink any booze anymore. I am becoming puritanical. I'll only eat the healthiest of vegetables and grains and clean meats and tofus and yeah, puritanical. Speaking of puritanical, do you guys want to gamble? That's right, we got the gold roll prediction in here. Pretty low on the prediction scale. I think it's because last time we were doing a lot of direct gambling, but those happens. Time for gold roll. Oh, it's a low roll today. Sorry, guys. Well, congratulations to all those who bet low, but yeah. Looking at no boost life, it sucks here. It's probably fine, honestly. It's probably for the best because, like, as a young person, I used to be able to just, like, drink myself unconscious and then, like, get up at 7 in the morning and go to work. And now as an older person, if I do such a thing, it affects me for, like, 3 days.
Psychic energy stirs within the docent. It would be safer to let Maragog
a few hundred items. Yeah, I don't really care too much about the items for the most part because in general, like, it's a new level cap. So the items are just going to be items for the level cap. They're going to have to hit all the high notes. So, like, unless we have interesting effects on the items, it's mostly just going to be like, ooh, look, this is an item that has deadly and accuracy. Ooh, shit, there's an item that has evocation focus and wisdom. Like, meh. Although I don't think we're going to get an crafting in this expansion. Less than 200 items per expansion. But Chris, have you thought about how many rare items they could shove in that chest? Where it slaps the roof of this chest. Think about how many rare items you can fit in that bad boy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just think about it. How many rare items could you get? Yeah, I like Charisma Pally. Rare item discourse in the forums for the next few weeks? Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Does it just up on medication and go out more? Yeah. I don't have the going out more problem.
Cavernous tunnels.
I have a very particular problem. I was not on medications before. I wanted to be on something. I have heart problem. Heart problem. Heart problem good. Well, it's not good, but it's bad? I don't know. Fun though. At elemental vulnerability. Yeah, the problem with elemental vulnerability, Axlet, is if you look real closely at it, did you know it's just vulnerability? You gotta read the fine print. A lot of it's just vulnerability. That's top of the shared bank. True. Yo, we should get a rare item shared bank. It's a special shared bank that holds rare items, so you never have to delete them ever. Be so neat. I agree. Yeah, because there's like the items from Hunter Be Hunted. Great raid. And some of the items you can get are like Grix's Gouger, right? Which is the lightning heavy pick that gives lightning vulnerability. And what it should do is increase the damage monsters take from lightning damage, but it's actually just vulnerability and doesn't do what it says. But it would be cool. Like an ESO printing machine. Myself and many others have been advocating for a sticker book style system like Elder Scrolls Online. For those that don't know, if you don't play Elder Scrolls Online, that game also has unique items and item sets. However, if you've ever collected the item one time, so let's say I do a dungeon and I get the chest piece from the dungeon, like the armor piece, then at any time in the future, I can either do the dungeon to get that item again, or by doing dungeons, you get a generic currency called a transmutation crystal, and you can make the item using a transmutation crystal once you have enough of them. So basically, kind of think we can already have this system, but imagine if there was a vendor in town. I'll use Ravenloft as an example, the Mist of Ravenloft. Imagine if there was a vendor who sat in the tavern, and when you open them, they brought up a window that showed you every item from every quest. So you can see where to get them, where the items drop, and all the items. And then once you get it, it's now highlighted, or it's like filled in, and you could spend the little fragments that you get from running the Ravenloft chain. You spend the fragments from that chain on buying the items from that guy. How cool would that be? Wouldn't that be sick? Would that be awesome? That'd be rad as hell.
Magic from the rune fades, stuck when the wayfarer falls before you.
This basic create a problem, provide solution from money, they sell inventory and bank slots. Yeah, but the problem, Okami, is I would agree with you if they did sell a solution. They literally don't sell a solution. Ransack, once you ransack, you can't loot anymore. They do not sell a solution to the problem. If I want to farm out a gear set, I can only loot a chest 8 times. And if I don't get it, I just can't get it. So even if so you either have to hold on to everything, which you can't do because there isn't enough item space for it, or you don't hold on to everything and you spend astral shards and you still don't get what you want, and then you can't get what you want. I would agree with you if they legitimately use it as a monetization point, like they do use the rare drops as a monetization point in terms of the astral shards, but only to a point, because you only get so many astral shards out of somebody because eventually they run out of runs and you can't do it anymore. Making positive changes. Yeah, I want to play ESO again. I just don't have the amount of time in the day for another MMO. That, and also I will totally admit this, I've been playing a ton of Destiny 2. There's some kids hooting and hollering outside. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I don't like it when video companies create problems and then sell you solutions. It happens all the time. It is very common in the industry. Very common. I'm not denying that happens. It's a huge issue. But like, there is no solution to this problem. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Rest in peace, D2? Yeah, I know. It's sad. The worst part for me is the fact that, dude, the game is so good. They left it in such a good place. Who knew that adding 7 artifacts, updating every exotic, adding new catalysts to every weapon that didn't have one, giving new events, updating every dungeon and raid, adding 300 guns, and adding over 70 new armor sets. Turns out all of that would make a near infinite combination of different types of character builds and stuff. It's made it fun forever. God, it's so good. Oh, what the hell? Hold on one sec.
A distressed female voice faintly calls from deep within, her words lost in the cavernous depths.
Sorry, doctor's office. You could listen to how to play the game. Yeah, the game doesn't teach you at all how to play. It just kind of turns you loose. It's a huge problem. It's almost like it was a bad idea that they shelved the original campaign that taught you how to play. They sold the subs. Oh yeah, every video game needs to make money somehow. Like I'm not saying that video game companies don't need to monetize something. In fact, I don't really know how it's related, but yeah, every video game needs to make money. True. I'm just not a fan of shooter RPGs, so I just never got into any of it, and that's totally fair. For me, it was like, so I'm the only. Never know how to stream Destinies. Fine, I will wait. Make it open source. I mean, they're not going to do that. Current story solo. Maybe I like current gear, but it's not fun. Yeah, it shouldn't be too. It depends on if you're playing on like the harder modes for sure. The thing about it is they made the game have a lot more build crafting in it. The gear isn't as relevant as like the builds you can put together. And so it has the upside of being this like incredible playground and toy box where there's so many different combinations of things you can do to make your character feel super powerful, which is awesome. But it has the downside of like, if you're not ready for that type of gameplay, you know, you've been playing the game for quite a long time and you're not ready for actually having to make builds. Like if you just play it like it's Call of Duty, you're not going to have a very good time. You're going to find a lot of struggles. You have to kind of like dig into like building out your class and, you know, picking the abilities that are kind of complementary and understanding how things work. But that being said, they don't teach you how to do any of that or give you any information on any of that. They just like, they're like, here you go crazy, kids, have fun. And in a lot of ways it can feel a little bit overwhelming, sort of like getting started playing Path of Exile. It's okay at the beginning, but if you don't understand really how the numbers work, once you get to like Act 3 and Act 4, the game gets really, really hard. Whales would milk themselves to extinction. If SS, here's my problem, right? I have had direct conversations with the higher ups at Standing Stone Games, and they have told me that one of the reasons why they worry about Ransack is burnout. You know, they don't want people to burn out. They want to make sure people take their time to do their farming. It takes people time. And it's also, and also, it's like classic MMO thing, right? Like you don't get things right away. It takes time to get stuff. So I don't want Ransack resets. Because if we get Ransack resets, that means that that was a lie. And we have a Ransack reset that was made available. There is one that you can get access to. Where did this person die? Oh, they're over there. There is one Ransack reset that is available that you can get from the, I think it's Chilla Ravenloft expansion, which I hate and I despise. I don't think the new expansion comes with the Ransack reset. I think it was just that one.
Screams resonate from the locked door to the south.
I think the argument that they don't want to worry about burnout and they want to slow down the players, I think it is stupid because all it does is make it unfun. DDO has a puzzle style system, a Tetris style gear system, where things need to fit together perfectly. You can't just throw on whatever if you're missing something. If you're missing your strength item, your character sucks. If you're missing your charisma item, your character sucks. And things are only on specific spots. So like, the argument to me holds no water. I think it's just a bad argument, but at least it's consistent. You know, it's a bad idea in my opinion, but at least it's a consistent bad idea. It is. They say we think this. I disagree, but that's fine. Adding a Ransack reset completely goes counterintuitive to the entire point of that entire argument and proves that the word means nothing. And that's what it would bother me. So that's why if they ever make Ransack pots for sale, like a thing you can buy in the DDO store, that means you can never trust, from my opinion, you can't ever trust anything they say. Ever again. It's all lies. I know I'm very impassioned here, but like that's a really big one to me. If we get Ransack reset potions that are only available for purchase with money, then it's only cash, and there's no care about all the other stuff that I was told about, like it's got to feel like the old game, that it's got to it's all about just like, you know, making sure people don't burn out, is all wrong. It's all lies. Star Wars mission to destroy my ship from the 2 walkers, and it wasn't enjoyable. Yeah, the Star Wars content is quite hard. If you don't have anything, it is a lot harder for sure. Especially if you play on like the harder mode, because there's the 2 modes. There's like the regular mode, and then there's the hard mode. The Star Wars missions are quite a lot tougher. I mean, some of the laser pistols definitely help, but I remember playing through the first mission. And yes, you having the 2 walkers that you have to deal with at the same time. I remember that one, doing it on the harder difficulty was like a lot more challenging than I was expecting, and I had to kind of use a lot of tools. I totally get where you're coming from, Extra Onions. I did have that experience as well. That being said, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the challenge personally, but I'm also used to the game. But I died quite a lot in there. I found it quite difficult. And also, at some point, you do get the lightsaber. And as it turns out, the lightsaber is good. It's very, very good. And it makes the walkers free. Just get what you need in free runs, especially if you use rerolls. So I would agree with you, Okami, but my issue is I'm a live streamer. So I have the opportunity where if I tell people what I'm farming for, I usually get a full group. So if I just go, hey guys, I'm farming for this, I will usually get a full group jumping in and helping me farm stuff with rerolls. And the best part about being a streamer is you can watch in real time as I don't get the items I need, as no one pulls them, and I have to swap to another character. It's happened on multiple occasions. DDO is just DDO. If an item has if there's 6 items in the drop pool, which means you have a 1 in 6 chance of getting that item, on a 1 in 3 whenever you loot the chest, so it's a 1 in 18 to get the item that you want, you only have a 50% chance of getting the item in 36 loot pulls. It's, you know, there's tons of times where it doesn't happen, especially on hardcore. I was like, I can't melee, I just have guns because the game never told me how to melee. Yeah. The game does tell you have a melee, for the record. I know this because I recently watched Horse experience the new light. And if you do like the intro quest with like Shahan and stuff, they do teach you how to do it.
In the center there, where I
thank
can
you.
The air around the circle crackles with magic.
Oh, thank
The giant's
you,
eyes
thank
are
you.
dull and clouded with malice.
And
I
got it.
deem you unworthy, cries Ignos. You have profaned the sacred ground.
Oh shit, I'm under attack.
Now you must die.
Doing my Destiny 1 Fire Titan, just punch stuff and through my hammer? Yeah. What the mod role is, and it's just me. We should have more moderators, but I've asked a few people that I trust if they would be comfortable doing Discord moderation, and they've said no. So I'm pretty much the only moderator. There are 2 other moderators, but they're like secret moderators, so you don't know who they are. But they have the privileges of also moderating stuff. But I usually it's okay when usually people just ping me. I accept the pings. No, Mr. Lift, I was going to tell you a story. It's a Destiny-related story. It's not actually about Destiny. But basically, I'm of the people that I've met in person, like in my local area, my friends growing up, going through childhood, going through school, post-secondary education, through work. I've never met anybody that plays any MMOs. Literally never. I've never met a single person. Save for my current girlfriend, because she has played a tiny bit of WoW. That's basically it. So, like, I have friends that play consoles. They like playing Call of Duty. They like playing NHL, you know. I have friends that like playing phone games. But I don't really have any friends that play MMORPGs that I've met through my adult life. So in 2014, when a friend of mine goes like, hey, I started playing this game Destiny. It looks kind of cool. And I look at it, and I'm like, oh shit. This is an MMO game, but it's like a gateway MMO game. Because it's like Call of Duty, right? It's got like guns and shooting guys. It looks like it's like Halo. It's like Halo. Made by Bungie. It's like Halo. But then there's classes, there's spells, there's items with stats on them. And so that was how I managed to convince a couple of my friends to actually start to learn, like, join the MMOs. This is what it's like. And over time, Destiny, which was very, very close to just being Halo, became more and more MMO-like, to the point where right now, unfortunately the game is over, it died. But it is an MMORPG through and through. It's just a straight up full MMORPG. Now, all of those friends who I started playing with quit because they didn't like that. And they just wanted to play Call of Duty game and they didn't want to have to read a single number. What are you gonna do? Fix these gear acquisition? Make Gibbers sold for some kind of token? Nah, dude, just go farm it. I don't mind it. Gibbers is super rare. It's not essential. Stream meet someone who has played an MMO straight to married. I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but you're also mostly entirely right.
You are free to move deeper into
Sit together at school and talk about RuneScape. I'm listening to like 7 or so now. No, I never met a single. I don't know what it is. I'm always like confused when I meet somebody who describes that they like sometimes play an MMO game. I'm like, what the fuck? You've played World of Warcraft before? Really? That's crazy. I didn't know other people played World of Warcraft. I thought it was just me.
You saw before.
There's still like 80k people on Steam alone. Yeah, because this is the best patch in the history of the game.
You find a crevice concealed by rubble here. It is pushing free of the narrow crawl.
Nothing to come with it. I'm just like,
Tumble down into some.
Yeah, and that's always the hard part. Like, again, all of my social groups, my friends, like, we play games together, so like some board games, but like they're like athletes, crafts people, like their entertainment is not like, it's not, honestly not even a lot of video games, and the small amounts of video games they do, it's like very light, but it's a lot of like, yeah, they're like a lot of crafts people, and they have other types of hobbies, which is fine. But even when I meet people that like play any amount of game in the past, it's always like, oh yeah, like, oh, what games do you play? Oh yeah, you know, I play NHL, I play FIFA. It's like, oh, sick. I play 2K. Oh, cool, man. Hell yeah. I don't play that, though. You guys want to talk about Mac Warrior?
The Portal Master
Yeah, dude, let's get into Battletech. No? No one wants to? Oh, jeez.
You did not have to come here to die.
Or they say Minecraft? Yeah, but that is a video game. I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't shame people for me personally, I don't shame people for playing video games. I have no issues if people want to play different video games that are different from the ones that I enjoy. I know some people do the like, that's not a real video game. Who cares? People are having fun. Games are cool. But the lack of MMO players that I've met is crazy. I love Battletech. Hell yeah. Emergency's only. Welcome back to the stream team for 81 months. Appreciate the support. Glad to have you here. Hope you're doing very, very, very good. And hopefully you get the experience of finding lots of MMO players to talk to. Like Warrior Forever? Yeah. That was a joke, by the way. I don't know anything about Battletech. I've actually had the exact opposite experience where people are like, yo, you want to start playing like Mech Warrior? And I'm like, no. Yeah, we'll be back on tomorrow. Tomorrow's the next stream. I posted a schedule in Discord. If it's any consolation, Mr. Lift, you're not going to be missing much because I have to end the stream soon because my energy levels are getting low. You think Battletech would be up my alley? Here's the thing. You know what this is? Where am I? Ooh, Mech Assault, baby. Xbox. That's game of the year. Game of the year right here. Hell yeah, this was my jam back in the day. You guys ever play Mech Assault? Oh yeah, dude. So yeah, that's my only experience with Mech Warrior or Battletech is Mech Assault. And I have so many goddamn hours in Mech Assault. Me and my brother and my cousin, we used to sit around and we would play the grinder mode, which is just, you just fight an infinite amount of enemies that keep coming at you. And we used to play that for hours. Surprise Fallout stream, no judging there. Oh, surprise Fallout. So fun fact, I have played Fallout. I put about 2 hours into Fallout 1 so far. I actually did play through the opening bit. And it is very janky. Fallout 1 is an interesting video game. I would like to stream Fallout at some point. Although I will probably end up streaming Fallout 2 because I might play through Fallout 1 off stream and then stream Fallout 2 specifically because I think Fallout 1 and 2 are going to be a similar situation to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, where Baldur's Gate 1 is good, but Baldur's Gate 2 is way better. Baldur's Gate 2 was like infinitely better than Baldur's Gate 1 because it's the same kind of game, but Baldur's Gate 2 has like the story, fully fleshed out characters, a much more interesting world, way more options, way more items. They knew how to make Fallout or Baldur's Gate 2 because they made Baldur's Gate 1. They just figured it out. And I have a feeling the same thing's gonna happen in 1. So here's my experience playing Fallout 1, okay? I go out, I leave the vault, and I'm in a cave with rats. I learned the combat system by stabbing rats with my knife. Oh, also, I started my character by maxing out my luck stat because I figured that would be the most important thing. So I have 10 luck because I think that's important. It says it affects everything you do. Maybe it's important. So I go out, I stab all the rats in the cave to death, and then I travel to a nearby town. In the town, literally not a single person has anything to say except for 2 characters. One character says they're bored, and the other character is like, hey, kill the rad scorpions. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I go and I talk to a guy to take me to the rad scorpion cave, and I have to reload like 50 times in this goddamn cave because these rad scorpions are so hard. So I use basically all of my ammo and I blow up all the rad scorpions, which is great. They're all dead now. I go back to town. They're like, thanks for taking care of the rad scorpions. That was the whole quest. Then I'm like, oh, okay. No one else in the town has anything to say. There's no dialogue, nothing. There's just nothing to do. And I was like, okay, interesting. So then I go to the vault that I'm supposed to go to. I'm supposed to go to Vault 13, I think, to find like a water chip. So I go in there, kill some rats, fight the Giga Rat, and then find out that to go deeper in the vault, I need to get some rope. But like, I've only found one vendor in the game, and that vendor didn't have rope, and I haven't found rope anywhere else, so I can descend an elevator shaft. Okay, well, I gotta get some rope. Well, the only other place I know of in the world is a camp that has some bandits in it. So I go to the bandit camp. And once I get to the camp, everyone's screaming and running away from me. They're like, oh my god, it's like the Wraith, he's back, the Wraith is back. And I have no idea what's happening. So then I go up to like the leader of the bandits, and he's like, what? I killed you. I don't know what this guy's talking about. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. He's like, yeah, I killed you. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm back. I'm your leader now. And then everyone shot and killed me. And then I turned the game off. I'll go back and play it, but like, I'm like, huh, interesting. I don't know what's going on. So yeah. I'm just used to like there being like bigger dialogue trees with like lots of different characters. And having I only got to talk to 3 characters, one of which told me that the town that they're in is boring and there's nothing to do, which is true because no one had talked to me. The other character, everyone told me, go talk to this guy, and I talked to him and he goes, please help us. I help him and he goes, thanks for helping us, and that's it. Literally just goes, thanks. And then a guy who tells me that he killed me already, oh, and apparently I'm his father, and then he killed me. I don't know. So I was like, experience and a half. So that's why I'm like, I think Fallout 2 might be a little bit more tight, you know? Are you going to be posting this Christmas build when you're done? Yes. So this build, I will be posting it when I'm done with it. This is going to be an endgame focused build. So we're building it towards endgame. So it'll have the leveling path as well, but it's going to be more heavily geared towards like the full gear set and everything else. So you will have this as an endgame build for you as well. It's going to be based around the Eidolon of Shadow, which is a currently existing sword. Yeah. Anyways, I thought I would share that experience. What's another quest to do? Rats in a cage? No, no, rats in a cage. What did I do? How do I have so much XP? Offering of blood? Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna be putting out a warlock build sooner rather than later. I have 3 builds I want to post. I want to post this one. I have a warlock build, and then I have a paladin vanguard build. The vanguard build is not charisma based. And I want to get all 3 of those out before the expansion comes out. Allegedly, the expansion is coming out on July 22nd, so I would like to get that done sooner rather than later. So that's going to be the goal, is to get that out before July 22nd. So, in theory, this one might not get done just because I have to like get all the gear for it, but we're gonna try our best. The vanguard is con rogue? No, it's not. I'm not posting that build. Oh, I don't think that there's anything to learn there. Well, sorry, I am posting that build, but because I have the footage. It's going to be an assassin rogue is what the build's actually going to be. I forgot about the assassin rogue build. I have to do that as well. Ugh. So many things on the docket. Oh no. Oh god. The tiredness is already catching up to me.
Dust whirls around this steep, narrow bridge.
Ugh. It's really annoying to only have like a few hours of like energy a day.
For one hoping to end their existence, a ledge this high up
Make
is
so much
the
content.
perfect place to
Make so much? I
recharge.
wish. I could definitely do more. I don't match up to the content pace of modern content creators. They post like 2 videos every single day. I get a team of people editing all my content. Lemania's patching. Do we have a Lemania? Let's see. News and official discussions. No, there's no new posts yet.
This enormous crack leads to the Volkur spiral, site of many ritual sacrifices.
Made it. Yeah, I'm hopeful to see some interesting stuff. I'm curious as to what they're going to look at, but I don't know.
These doors are meant
Yeah, I'm curious as to what we're going to see. If it's anything to do with the expansion, because we are going to be going up to the level 36, I wonder if they're going to preview, like... What, did we get a new feat, right? It's 30 for... We got an epic feat at 30, epic feat 33, so we should get another epic feat at 36. So I'm curious as to what we're actually going to get there. Whoa. And then we don't get a Destiny feat till 37, I think. Yeah, we get an Epic feat at 36, then Destiny 37, then Epic 39, and Destiny 40. Yeah. Just counting it out. And then on top of that, we're gonna get yeah, we don't get another core here. This would be 38. So we're not gonna get any of these, I don't think. So we'll just have more points. It will be nicer to build around with 8 more points in the trees. It's going to make it a lot easier for especially a lot of like the first life builds that I want to put together. Because there's so many times where you're just like, you want to go here and then you want to get something up here and something up here and you just can't with the amount of point spread on a first lifer. You need to have more points. So the extra 8 should be pretty helpful to those people that are just getting started. That being said, the content's also going to get harder, but there's more varieties and builds you can do. One of the biggest problems I have right now is every Paladin build, I really, really, really want to be able to go into Unyielding Sentinel and be able to pick the lay on hand stuff. So lay on hand scales with your character level as opposed to with Paladin level, which would make it a lot more powerful. I would love to have access to more stuff like that, but nice. Where are we going now? I have no idea what quest we're doing. We will see. Yeah, there's no new post yet. Find out. How many builds you've created over the years? I think you need to do a top 10 one of these days. Top 10 builds of all time? Maybe. It was fun when I rebuilt the old build repository, which, if you're unaware, the build repository is on the new forums, but the old one that was on the old forums, I had to move it, so it's on the a Google Doc now, so it's just there, saved forever. And it was fun. It was, number one, it was cool to go back and be like, oh, I remember playing this, I remember playing that. But the other part of it was also, yeah, here, let me get it, is the old build repository. Bobby. But yeah, StreamTom's old build repository, dude, going through all the builds, I'm like, oh yeah, I have posted quite a lot of builds over the years. Like, dude, there's just so many. You know what I mean? It's cool. There's a lot of them. Dual wield falconer build. That was great. Falcon striker. Falconry was like my jam. Apparently I played a lot. Yogi bear wisdom druid. Palemaster has never been better. Guess what? It's way better now. It's because this is a halfling. Oh god. Henshin Mystic, the other monk. Because nobody played Henshin at the time. Which quest are we going to now? Oh, we're doing the Burning City? Okay. You know, I can get there from here. Where are Elon's builds? Ah, true. I don't have the marker for Elon's builds. I don't know if I have a top 10 favorite builds of all time. Good question, though. There's a lot of really good ones. I have, like, the characters that I enjoy playing, and I've had some builds that I've enjoyed in the past for various reasons. It's a good question.
Above the scar, this narrow bridge is an ideal perch for them.
Yeah, I like the idea of making like a top 10 list or something like that. I think that could be kind of fun. Maybe a good idea for the future. I've realized that I'm stupid and I can do something easier, which is I'll probably make a at the end of this year, something I want to do every year was make a review of every single video game I've played through that year and kind of rank them, but which ones I've enjoyed. But I've realized I could use the tier list format for that. So I've been slowly building a tier list as the year has gone on, where I just take like the box art for the video game and then load it into the tier list. And at the end of the year, I'll probably make a video going over each game and then just put up a little bit of footage so you can see it about which ones, how I rate them all. Good enough. You could do a top 100. I could do a top 100, which is a crazy thought, but I wouldn't want to. It's too much work. 100 builds, and you have to rank them relative to one another and say which ones are better or worse. And there's a lot of bad ones.
2 locations in all Menacterum where water can be found.
I wonder if it's a good idea to set in the Discord a ban, like to auto ban any users who have like human names. Because there's like the Discord bot spam where like somebody will join in, but they usually just have like a human name instead of being like, you know, somebody has their Discord handle like 2 wolves inside me 69. Instead, it's like, I have a honeypot channel. That's the best part. I already have honeypot channels, and it's caught so many. Yeah, there's a bunch of bots you don't see because they get caught. They caught in the honeypot. There's just, yeah. But yeah, I want to see if I can auto ban everybody that has real names, because every time somebody joins your Discord and they're like, hey, I'm, well, what was that person? They're like John Smith or something. I was literally just staring at another Discord and they already banned somebody who was named Andrew Jones. I'm like, yeah, if somebody just has a regular human name, they should get auto banned. And it solves your bot problem. And then if you're like, oh, but that's my Discord account. My Discord is my first and last name. Unlucky. I don't know what to tell you.
The heat of the desert is incomparable to the sweltering temperature emanating from the burning city.
Bottom 10 builds, so new players could see what could break a build.
Burning city of
Maybe. So I have had this experience, Blue Simplex, where in the past, I'm still ISO make them because I find them entertaining. But if I post a video of a build that doesn't work, or a build that is like bad because there's a mechanical reason as to why something doesn't function the way you would like it to, the unfortunate reality is that people don't watch those videos. Blink twice. I'm just in this group and they went to do it. I'm just doing it. If your account name is your first and last name, you don't deserve to be on the internet. Yeah, true. Or trust someone with a real name and real face. Yeah. Get out of here with your flesh and your blood. Your identifiable features. More treasure? Oh, hell yeah. Lorem Ipsum is my real name. Aw, man. Well, now you said that, I gotta ban you. Make sure your build doesn't work. Otherwise, a build fail compilation could be funny. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have like I said, it's just it's an interesting problem. It's an interesting problem. I don't have a good way to solve it. Yeah, I don't mind the fact that people don't watch the bad builds. Obviously, if I post a video that is like, this is the best, most easiest thing you can play ever, people will want to watch it. Because there's some subset of people that are like, oh, good. I don't want to have to make a build. I just want to have a thing that's easy to play. So like the Arcane Trickster build that I put together did very, very good on the number side. Because it's like, hey, here's like 5 Arcane Trickster builds for basics. Arcane Tricksters for dummies, you know? You don't know how to play it? You don't know you don't have to know how to play it. I'm gonna learn you how to do it. You click the things and you do the thing. But if I make a video that is like, oh god, oh, the grease. But by contrast, if I make a video that is like, man, Arcane Trickster's really hard to play and I can't figure it out, or like Arcane Trickster, I tried to play a good Arcane Trickster and I made a bad one. People don't click on it. I know my audience.
the updrafts in this volcanic cavern are
yeah, it's also just something that I personally enjoy doing. I like making the builds regardless of whether they're good or not. Like, I don't start with the conception of making a good build. I start with the idea first. Like, the idea hits your ear and you go, oh, yeah, that sounds fun. Can you do it? Oh, one sec. I have to send a message. I have to send a direct message. Oh, I don't know. Never mind. I can't send a direct message. I have to step away for a moment. God damn it. I'll be right back. My team will do this entire time. Bird is beeping. Let's go. Sorry, I had to quickly run downstairs to check something. Ugh. Running. Did we not get the key? Wait, who has the key? Or did we not kill the guy that has the key? We're missing a key. Or somebody picked up a key and doesn't realize they picked up a key. Uh-oh. Well, it wasn't me. I don't have the key. That is definitely an issue with quests like this, where you need like a bunch of keys to get through a bunch of doors. Now, to be fair, yeah, you just got to remember if you pick up a key. But oh, somebody will find it. I unfortunately don't have it. No, nope. I don't even know where we were missing a key. Where were we missing a key? Where would we have not have picked one up? Is it where I think it is? Right, I forgot I have 5 tumbles. Go, tumble, tumble. I'm out of tumbles. Is it here? Does this give you a key? Die. Please. Die. I don't know if he gives you a key. It's been so long since I've done this quest. My Chains of Flame knowledge is low.
Heavy key slips from
Yes, he did drop me a key. Okay, perfect. Got it. I couldn't remember if you got a key from the kitchen. So many keys. But you're right. I don't know why anyone would willingly put them through this quest. If you have done Chains of Flame on Heroic, you'll know that it's quite annoying to get to, and then it's this annoying trap-filled nightmare quest. In Epics, it's even worse, because there's those stupid grease traps. Oh no, I can't get past the grease trap? Oh shit. Okay. Whew. I can just do this to get past it. There's the grease traps everywhere, so if you aren't disabling all the traps, it can be very, very annoying. Do we even have a trap guy? Well, oh yeah, we have some traps disabled. But it can be difficult to get all of them. Boom. Traps. And then close to the end. So the idea is you're basically... Oh, shit. There's a bunch of these air jet traps. And we're climbing this tower, right? So you start down there. That's where you come in. So you're constantly going up. You're going up. You're going higher. You're going higher. All the way at the very top is a trap that's trapped. So there's a trap box that is trapped. And if you disable the trap box without disabling the trap on the trap box, then the trap is an air trap that pushes you off the ledge and causes you to have to run back through the entire dungeon. Just awful stuff. Or amazing stuff, depending on how you look at it. Also, we need to make sure we free the proper amount of slaves, because if you get 1 key from freeing slaves. That's how you get the last key. Get out of here, hyenas. Yeah, this is definitely not the most favorite quest for most people. I don't think you get a key here. I'm just gonna do all the optionals because I can't remember. You don't know what you're risking.
Does he serve the firebrands by choice?
Hey, you're free now. I can never repay this gift of freedom, but the treasures in the chest are yours. May Dol Ara guide your step. Thank you for the desert sand. Like, I think it's cool. I think that having big, long, annoying quests is a good idea in the game. I know this might sound like controversial, but the game can't just be all short quests where you blast your way through it. You gotta also have every once in a while this quests that take forever, and they're windy and twisty and they're convoluted, because those ones, one, give you an appreciation for the short quests, and two, sometimes they can be like their own good adventure to do the first time. Not everybody appreciates times long past quest in Myth-Drannor, and I can understand that, but quests like this one, where they're kind of like all over the place, can be kind of fun. I don't love slave lords, but running through slave lords like every once in a while can be pretty entertaining. No, not this way. This is the shrine.
Raised drawbridge. The firebrands have blocked your progress.
And still no Lemanian news. Very upsetty spaghetti. I haven't seen a build that uses a slave lords item in a while, and I think that's mostly because you can get quality stats on Lamortia crafting. If you couldn't get quality stats on Lamortia crafting, I think... Are we at the top? No, we're not. No, we're still going. Oh my god. I don't know where I am. If you could get if you couldn't get Lamortia quality stats, you would still see people using slave lords gear. Oh, the Wish. Actually, great example. I really like the Wish. You're risen up mobs? Yeah, it's the build we talked about a couple of weeks ago. If you remember. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I had to, due to medication purposes, I had to take a break from doing literally anything for like 2 weeks. Oh, I can already feel the fatigue setting in. It's like so weird to describe. It's like this like ethereal form of tiredness that just like is overwhelming. But yeah, it's the 1451, baby. Level 25. Let me lower the bridge so that way we can go use the shrine. Of course, we want to use the shrine. Also, you climb the ladder. You know why you climb the ladder? There's a collectible up here, but other people don't know that, so they're all going to climb up to get the collectible. I have to farm them. Farming the Wish made me stop liking it. I don't know. I don't mind the Wish. I mean, I will say, one of the benefits of, it's like a hidden benefit of stuff like Lamortia or like the crafting expansions, is I don't really mind farming any quests at any time, because you always get... Oh, God.
This arcane reeks of malice and despair.
Sorry. You always get materials, which are just useful. You don't have Lyme disease? I do have Lyme disease. That's separate from the other stuff that's going on with me. That's just cutscenes and waiting. It's like 5 cutscenes. That's true, but at the very least, there's a couple cutscenes where you can do optionals during the cutscenes. It's kind of annoying. I don't hate it that much. That makes you tired? Yeah, but I've been dealing with that for many, many years. That's not the problem. It's a new medication. Cool. So, like, you're gonna get used to it. Just give it like a month. I'm like, oh my god. A month? Ugh. Like the only saving grace of still currently being unemployed is only having like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours of energy every day. We could deal with that. Oh, God. Man, I just want to look at Lemania. This Lemania doesn't come up. I'm gonna have to look at it tomorrow. Which is still fun. Curious as to what there's gonna be on there. Okay, here it is. We're at the top. Okay, there's a trap box here on the door. It blows inwards? What? It used to blow outwards. It used to do the opposite. What's the best way to farm Reaper XP? Get to the maximum level and then join Reaper groups. That's the best way to do it. Because legendary quests give twice as much Reaper XP and you get more Reaper XP based on level of the quest. So if you get to the level cap and then you join a group, even like an R1 group is going to give you like 600 or like 600 to like 1200 Reaper XP per quest. And if you do it on R10, you're going to get way more. But there'll be groups out there that are like, oh, Reaper 4, Reaper 7. And if you do those tier of quests, you'll be getting so much Reaper XP. It's so fast. It's the fastest way by no small margin. Energy back right in time for the new DDO expansion? I hope so. Got Lime. Brandon said Lime since 6. I got Lime when I was...
The heat of the desert is
It's in my adult years, so I have to like remember the year. This would have been 2018. So 6 years ago, so it would have been 28. Nope, that's 8 years ago. So it would have been 26. Look, man, I'm living in a different time. $2050 then 2000. Yeah, that's okay. The weird thing for me was like, especially when I started streaming, was like kids, you know, kids who were in their like early 20s, you know, being born after the year 2000. They don't know Y2K. They don't know 9/11. They don't remember any of this stuff. They were like little kids. They were babies, or they were born afterwards. They don't know. And soon I'm gonna have to start grappling with the fact that in a couple of years there'll be kids tuning into the live stream who were born in 2010 or later, which is mind-boggling. And my girlfriend, she has some nieces and nephews that were all born after 2020. So they were born like in the year 2020 or 2021. And I'm like, oh, the youngsters. It's crazy. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, COVID definitely broke my sense of time. I have like no way to scale time anymore. Yes, I am unfortunately getting old. Again, when I played Fallout for the first time, Fallout 1, I was like, oh, I'll just make me, because the age range for your character in Fallout 1 is between 18 and 35. So it's like, I'll just put my age in there. And I'm 34. I'm almost at the maximum age range for Fallout 1, if you wanted to make a character. I'm like, oh, no. No. Oh, is that the outfit? I didn't look at the outfit. I should. Look at the outfits. Years or after COVID? Yeah, basically. That's kind of how I think about stuff in relation. Yep. It's all just like, I have to kind of think of, I think of things in terms of like tangential things that happened. So it'll be like, oh, this happened around this time. So like, oh, like I don't know the year that something happened, but I know that when this happened, I was also doing this. So it must have been near this time. I have to use like hooks, basically. Okay, so this is Terror of Demogorgon. I didn't look at the outfits. So we're going to look at the outfits here, because I didn't look at them yet. Also, I have a tome, so let's grab this. I have a mount. Where's my cloaker? Where's my cloaker mount? Oh, the teleport style. Armor set. And then, oh, I have that. I have the mount. Right. And cosmetic Delver's armor. Okay. All right. I haven't looked at these armor sets. I didn't see them, so we're gonna take a look here. Seeing content creators on YouTube and looking up to them as adults, and now all of them are my age or younger. Yeah, isn't that weird? Also, the idea of looking at content creators on YouTube is crazy to me, because when YouTube came out, I was 17. I couldn't imagine being a kid on YouTube. All right, so the armor. So first, I'm going to look at the Underdark Delver's outfit. So we'll take a look at this. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's got like, you got like healing potions on the edge of it, whatever those green potions are. I like this kind of like little clasp that's right here. You got the pants, backpack full of stuff. We got a lantern on the back. It's a shame there isn't like a firefly like buzzing about in the lantern, but the backpack looks sick. You got teleportation scrolls, I think, or is that just a pick with a horse on the top? I think it's a teleportation scroll. Oh, and the hat. Yeah, I didn't even look at the hat. Feathered cap out of it. But it looks like, yeah, isn't this a scroll of some kind? It's like some type of scroll and some type of rod that do something. Maybe it's an immovable rod. Yeah, dude. And then you got like satchels all the way down the pants. I haven't seen this yet, so this is cool. This is a sick outfit. I'm offended that the rod is immovable. It could be a movable rod. Yeah, this one's great. This is a really cool outfit. Cool. And then what is the other one? Abyssal Visage. I mean, it is cool. I like the chains. But I don't personally love it. I like the color. I think I would change the color. I like the style. I just don't love the color. But it looks cool for sure. Honestly, this might be a good cosmetic for my Warlock build, now that I think about it. You know, it does fit the Warlock pretty well. Very cool. I'm gonna go back to my outfit. I just want to be able to see him. Oh, no. It's showing characters at creation, just unobtainable in game. Sometimes, or they're old outfits, so you have to find them on randomly generated gear. So yeah, it can be a difficult one. Is the Warlock outfit anywhere? Oh, like there's like that robe? Probably. I'm not the best at identifying the in-game fashion, but there's a good amount of fashion. Okay, so Mike and a Druid. 20 character bank. Okay. Then it's here. Skills. Cosmetics. Teleportation, Abyssal Door. Oh, I already have it. I already have Abyssal Door turned on. So if I want to go somewhere, so I'm like, oh shit, I gotta make it. I gotta go to House Kandaric. Yeah, I gotta go to House Kandaric, so I gotta teleport. See ya. Oh, sick, dude. That's great. I know the teleport takes a little bit longer now because they changed it so that way they could have time for those animations and they could sync up everything. And I know it sucks and it's annoying and it sucks and everybody hates it, but it's so cool. Now, question, can I do that while moving? I'm curious now. Okay, so it doesn't really work while moving because it leaves the portal where you were. I didn't test that, but yes, it doesn't like just have the portal follow you. It actually just, the portal's a physical object that stays in one spot, which is interesting. Well, now you know. In case you didn't know, now you know. Okay. I did want to come here because there's a vendor, arcane scroll vendor. I needed to buy. I'm like, oh, I only have so many of these. Teleports. Give me another 82, please. Back to full. Yeah, the 20-second teleports on the expansions. You know, it's not just that. The fucking key to Evening Star, dude. Speaking of which, where is my key to Evening Star? Where's the key? There it is. Key to Evening Star. 20-second cooldown. So I can be like, oh, cancel? Guess what? I still have the key. 20 seconds. Isn't that sick? Isn't that cool? So wait, now... Maybe that's just evil? For me, I just love the animation, and I like the fact that my key to Evening Star, instead of having a cooldown of like half an hour, isn't it half an hour? Yeah, it's 18,000 or 1,800 seconds is what it used to be. Was it a whole hour? Oh, now it's not. 20 seconds to go to Evening Star. You want to go Evening Star? No problem. Whoop. That's never going to get, like,
within the
old.
shadows of the
It's never going to get old, dude.
Wayloon,
They're just like,
deeper dark is
and then
growing.
falling into the pit is
Who
awesome.
will cast a light on it before the darkness spreads?
Well, I wanted to wait until the Lamania patch notes came out. We don't have any Lamania patch notes, and I am unfortunately out of energy. You might have noticed that, like, I'm talking slower and I'm thinking about more things and I'm yawning a lot more. That's my will be a couple hours of energy kicking in, which is very unfortunate. So I am unfortunately going to be ending the stream a little bit earlier because I just don't have the energy to do long streams right now until I get used to my medication. But I'm going to keep eating pills and eventually I'm going to feel better. So that's going to be the plan. Thank you guys for watching. We had a good time. We'll be back tomorrow. As a reminder, tomorrow is July 1st, which is Canada Day, which is, for those that are Americans, it's like our Independence Day. It's a national holiday where we celebrate the Confederation of Canada on July 1st, called Canada Day. I will be streaming on Canada Day because I am going to a barbecue, but I'm going to do that at 5. So I will be streaming before then. So tomorrow afternoon, you're going to see me here. We're going to hang out. We'll probably go over Lamania and stuff. And then we'll be Canada Day. So we'll all celebrate Canada together. But other than that, oh my god, I'm so tired. I'll lie down. It's very annoying. It's like it gets to like a mental fog too. Thank you, Big. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I hope you're all doing very, very good. I'm excited to be streaming again. The past few weeks, like I have had almost zero energy, so being able to sum up even a tiny bit has been a challenge. So I'm happy I've been able to get just a little bit of energy. Really ending. I'm sorry, Officer Skeleton. Yeah, we're streaming a little bit earlier just because I don't really have a lot of energy, and so I'm just trying to get through stuff. Yeah, we'll be back. Tomorrow and the next day. And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. Not every day, but we'll try our best. We're gonna raid Brackart because I'm tired. Might as well pass along the love. And we're gonna look at Lamania tomorrow. So get ready, get excited for Lamania, guys. Lamania. Swallow them pills. Hell yeah, dude. The worst part is that I have to start a new medication on Thursday that they're like, yeah, you can't drink alcohol while you're on this one. And I was like, how long do I have to be on it? And like, probably the rest of your life. And I was like, oh, but, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, I'll be back later. Bye-bye. And now, it's just you and me, YouTube chat. Everybody got sent over to raid Brackert, so now he's chilling, he's having a good time. He's gonna be doing a stream. You guys, unfortunately, you can't raid him because that's not how YouTube works. YouTube streaming doesn't allow me to raid another user. Actually, maybe you can. I don't know if that is a function. But knowing YouTube, I don't know if that would be a good idea. But thank you guys for watching. We had a good time. We'll be back tomorrow, and it will be fun. But I am tired. Oh, it's the deep breaths of the yawning, dude. It's the yawning that gets me.